Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Queen's Dead. I'm Sanjeet. I have Dhruv and Amartya with me. Welcome to the live stream. Uh, Already comments आ गए तो मैं दिखा दे रहा हूँ जो आए हैं.
हम्म,
Yes, Varun is
खुद
part of our thing only. Yes,
खुद आधा आधा फिल्म देख के कह रहा है लेट। इनकम्प्लीट तो वो है, हम लोग तो एटलीस्ट लेट है।
सर आधी मुझे भी देखनी चाहिए थी हाँ। गलती से पूरी हो गई हाँ yes okay fine
Uh, and
Shashwat is not
Shashwat
yes so he
is
is
in the
yes
comments. So the
yes
fourth person who was going to appear on the podcast was Shashwat, who
mm-hmm.
was going to discuss and defend Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, most probably.
Mm-hmm.
डोंट वरी
But
शाश्वत, आई एम आल्सो
since he's not
समवट इन
here,
योर कैंप। हाँ,
नहीं
समवट
नहीं
इन
वो
योर
तो कुछ
कैंप।
ज्यादा ही उस कैंप में है।
since
अरे
he's
वो तो
not here.
टॉप इंडियन, वो तो टॉप इंडियन मूवीज के लिस्ट में उसको डाल दिया। आई एम लाइक उतना भी
yes
नहीं बुरा हाल नहीं हुआ है मेरा। पर जो भी हो।
So, as the title suggests, we are discussing two films which recently came out on Netflix. Three of us,
mm-hmm.
which had a theatrical release, but it is streaming now on Netflix. I mean, of course, it was a limited theatrical release, so a lot of people couldn't watch it. So, a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
did watch, I'm assuming, or at least the cinephiles who did watch it on Netflix. And the other one is Kho Gaye Hum Kahan,
Mm-hmm.
which came out on 26th December, and it's produced by Excel and Tiger Baby, which is Zoe Akhtar, Reema Kagti as well. And so we are starting with which film, bro? We're starting
The
with three of us,
rubbish
is it?
one no the rubbish one
Okay, okay.
The
Let's jump straight
chronological one. The
हाँ
chronological one. We are not calling it
chronologically.
rubbish
Let's
just yet.
let's jump into Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, which is directed by Arjun Varen Singh.
mm-hmm.
And it is written by Arjun Varen Singh along with Reema Kagti and Zoe Akhtar.
Zoya Akhtar
And
and Yash Sahai I think
Yash Shahai wrote the dialogues, I think.
oh
he wrote the
wow
dialogues.
So
fine
if you have
Huh.
anybody to blame, it's him.
Well, I have a lot of people to
I
blame,
mean,
but yes, he has
Dhruv
done one of them.
specifically.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
what is Kho Gaye Hum Kahan really? What is the synopsis? Could you tell me, Dhruv? Is it
Yes,
possible?
life of three sober quote unquote friends unravels as they traverse the dangerous web stops and signs of the internet. That was my prompt, whatever thingy. But that's I don't know what else to say. It's like
To be fair, they are friends. मतलब और कितना दोस्ती दिखाएंगे
nahi,
यहाँ पर? क्या
so
जय और बीरू का गाना बजेगा क्या?
no,
ये
if it's
दोस्ती हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
if you're gonna promote it as तीन billboard लगा देते हैं for three billboards in
Varun has
Bombay.
something to say. We are wondering what the film is to, Sanjeet. And Shashwat also has something to say.
It's fine.
No rubbish
No,
films being discussed, though, Dhruv.
Sure,
see,
sure, 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 sure. Yes. Okay, so not rubbish. Boring.
Also, for people who are watching the stream, please like it so that it reaches out to more people.
Hmm.
It'll really
and we
help
have
us out.
Yeah. On the 1st of January, they want to hear us dump on one film
Oh shit! Happy New
specific.
Year! Happy New Year to
Yes,
everyone
yes.
yeah,
वो
Happy
who's
New Year
discuss
to anyone,
वो
whoever is
discuss करनी
watching.
चाहिए थी.
Whoever is watching, Happy New Year.
Happy
Yeah.
New Year to all the viewers, listeners.
Yeah. We should have
Okay,
discussed Farah Khan's film. It's probably more entertaining at least.
I don't think
Uh,
so. I don't think. I think you are giving that movie too much credit.
okay. Let's
okay.
let's go with
Fair
initial
enough.
thoughts, about the
Hmm.
film. Amartya, you go first.
Okay, so like Dhruv and a lot of other people who have been scarred by the Archies, I went in with a lot of trepidation.
Hmm.
So maybe because my expectations were damn low. I mean, so low you have no idea. The only reason
Hmm.
why I went is because Aryan messaged me and I was like, review कर दो इसका. I'm like, okay, पैसे मिलेंगे, चलो देख लेता हूँ.
Ah.
So I started watching and I'm like 10 to 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay, typical problems, sobo
Hmm.
issues, relate करना थोड़ा problematic हो रहा है. Music
थोड़ा.
मस्त है. I'm like,
Hmm.
music मस्त है. I'm like, चलो auditorial मतलब audible बात के हिसाब से this is going quite good. Then I'm
Hmm.
like, oh wait, writing थोड़ा better है. Jokes बकवास है.
Hmm.
Sapan Verma is a bad comedian and
Oh
he
my
also
god,
writes bad
the
jokes.
stand-up jokes. I mean, it just gives me
Ah.
hope about my jokes.
Gives
Yes,
competition to
Yes.
Bekre stand-up bits, na.
movies showing stand up is extremely bad because for some reason they can't write jokes.
Hmm.
So
Mm.
Hmm.
huh,
Even the way they shoot it, there's a certain way how stand-up shows are really
yeah, yeah.
shot, though, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you really move away from that kind of reality. I don't know how much cinematic you can make it though.
Yeah,
या
yeah,
और
yeah.
स्टैंड अप
Because
बनाने की क्या जरूरत थी? लेक्चर स्टैंड खड़ा कर देते वहां पे,
नहीं
कर
नहीं
तो वही रहे
नहीं
हैं ना,
नहीं,
फर्क थोड़ी ना पड़ता है.
वो तो लास्ट में, आई विल गेट टू दैट, वो तो लास्ट में
ओके.
है, रुको रुको.
I mean,
तो
just initial thoughts in the beginning. We
no
don't
no
do
my
it.
initial no no my initial thoughts is after a while I'm like, wait, I think I'm mildly enjoying it. I'm again,
ओके.
I said that in the review straight up. The music
Hmm,
is an important factor. ठीक है,
hmm.
I think the music really helped. So I was in
ओके.
the zone for a bit because, and I'm also surprised that Ananya Pandey can act. So I was like,
शी इज द
okay,
बेस्ट
that
पार्ट ऑफ द मूवी.
yeah, that shocked me. मतलब लास्ट कुछ दिनों में भी कर्वबॉल डालना पड़ता है इस ईयर को, जो भी हो. So
Huh.
that happened, and then in the last 15 minutes, suddenly Tiger Baby were like, wait, we haven't done moralizing. Let's moralize the shit out of everybody. So they
Huh.
did that. So
Which
Huh.
is
overall, I will
basically when
say,
it becomes Made
uh,
in Heaven Part 2,
it's
right?
good.
That's what I
It's
heard.
Part
somewhat
three.
decent. Yeah.
Part
Part
3,
three.
sorry,
This is
whatever it
this
is.
is basically a spin-off.
Okay.
Again, I think the Dil Chata Hai template was very evident. ठीक है, very evident.
तो वो
But
कंपैरिजन तो बनेंगे ना फिर, क्यों नहीं बनेंगे?
हाँ, that
हाँ.
template is very evident. But I'm like, this
Yeah.
Hmm.
writing is not clever enough or not that sincere enough.
Or
It
nuance.
will rise above it. Okay,
Hmm.
but it has some unique flourishes of its own, which I liked genuinely. I
We will
think it
discuss
really,
those
yeah,
flourishes
yeah,
because I want to know what those are.
yeah.
Uh,
There are there. Those are there. Hang on.
okay.
Listen, if I
Anyways,
start being sarcastic, you are going to shut up very quickly. So don't.
no, but it's true. I was very much. I
Your
mean,
initial thoughts, huh?
I mean, I went in. Amartya Singh, he went in with low expectations. I went with no expectations or like negative expectations, if anything. So I was like,
Hmm.
so you can. So I was like,
You
I can
watched
come
it today.
across.
As
I watched it today.
disclaimer,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
should tell
So
people you watched it
I
today.
didn't watch it on the 26th because I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. I'll delay it a little bit. Agar
Hmm.
discuss karna hoga, we'll watch it. Because I've been
Huh.
on, I don't like being lectured. आर्चीज वाले एपिसोड में बोल नहीं पाया था बिकॉज एको हो रही थी आवाज. बट हाँ वही इसमें I don't like being lectured at all, especially, and you will also have a similar point, Sanjeet, where it's like, it feels like they are speaking from a high moral ground and talking down
Huh.
to us in many
Yeah,
Again,
I
ways.
wanted to speak about
yeah,
Yeah.
that
yeah, yeah.
later.
So yeah, I mean, I think so. I was like, chalo, okay, you can. I can discount my not liking it on the basis that I'm a grumpy person who is not connected with this whatever sober culture and like
अरे तो
whatever.
मैं
But
क्या हूँ?
अरे तो
तो मैं क्या
I
हूँ?
was no, but my point is I can't really say that because then I've also not minded films in which actually I'm repulsed by some of the characters. Like Richard Linklater's Everybody Wants Some has
Yes.
Huh.
characters who I don't like at all.
Hmm.
Oh
Like I
yeah, those
really
are
don't like them.
despicable arts. Those are
Haha.
despicable arts.
But
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I had but there were elements in it where I could see, like there were things that I could grab onto in terms of filmmaking, in terms of performance, and
Hmm.
nothing here. Nothing here for me.
No, I won't say
Uh,
there's nothing. There is something. इतना बकवास नहीं है.
I thought there was
इतनी
nothing there to
नहीं
grab
है.
onto here.
नहीं बोलने दो ध्रुव को बोलने दे दुख
हाँ.
हुआ है इसको.
नहीं नहीं दुख नहीं हुआ है जो it's just like your expectations being sort of justified by the film and I was like I didn't buy any of the friendship, which is why I said quote unquote friends. And I feel if I'm not buying the social issue in any case, which I think जो भी surface level आप बोल रहे हो
हाँ.
कि social media बकवास है, that's okay, right? So if not that, you need to be engaged with the people and be
Hmm.
whatever engaged in their lives. I was like, don't care.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go straight to some of the comments which are relevant to at this point in time.
Yeah.
Huh? So Swapnil Azad says everybody wants some is a masterpiece, by the way.
Hey, you are the same guy
Which
who said I'm a Sofia Coppola hater. ठीक है, shut the fuck up. चलो next.
okay. Next comment is by Varun. He says South Calcutta Amartya and South Delhi at Dhruv piling on South Bombay kids. ये इंडियन कैपिटल वाले लोग.
साउथ
आप
बॉम्बे
तो
किड्स वाली पिक्चरें अच्छी लगती हैं, दिल चाहता है
आप
अच्छी
तो
लगी है.
आप तो पुणे में हो सर, आप किस पे कह रहे हो?
Okay, next comment. Huh? Varun again says Dhruv boycotted school because he doesn't like being lectured. सुनने में आया है. Okay, I mean, there are a lot of comments, so a lot of
Yeah. I
them
know
are a little
Shashwat will
behind.
also chip in saying whatever defending it, so yeah, we can
Varun
put
says
that.
घटिया picture थी अमर्त्य.
You saw
Okay,
it halfway. You saw it
okay.
halfway.
Swapnil says शाश्वत पूरी पिक्चर देखा भी नहीं. Then शाश्वत replies back saying आजाद भाग ले
चूजा
चूजे. आजाद replies back चूजा किसको बोल रहा है 4 फुटिए. अलग ही बैंटर चल रहा है.
I
शाश्वत
don't
हाँ,
think we need to
ये
repeat all the banter. I don't think
ये
we need.
बैंटर ज्यादा अच्छा है जो पिक्चर में है उससे, तो ये आप देखिए प्लीज. यस.
Varun says अच्छा है KGHK did not have a theatrical rollout. Excel would have had to shut down.
I don't think Excel
Possible.
would
I
have.
think it
I
would
think they
have
would
been
have
a
shut down
hoot.
Tiger Baby. I think they would have shut down Tiger Baby.
Hmm. Anyway,
Uh,
Sandeep, you say na, what did you think?
okay.
Points तो
Quickly,
we'll
quickly,
discuss.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Hmm.
quick thoughts.
Hmm.
Initial quick thoughts. So I again no expectations. I didn't read reviews, but I watched the one song which plays in the title and in the credits,
हाँ.
which I really liked. And I thought it's a good flavor that possibly that they're choosing. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's not really a gone case because it has Zoya Akhtar and Rima Kakti in some form of
At
as a
Yeah.
this
creative
point,
team.
having the two of them is a gone case. But chalo, jo
I
bhi
mean,
ho.
not really though. Honestly, because I still feel it's not really a gone case because I guess you are allowed some sort of leeway when
Of
you
course
have
you
done
are.
some
Yeah, yeah.
really good work. And
Yeah.
again, Made in Heaven season 2 wasn't really a gone case. It's just that the moral high ground, which again this film takes as well, is something that I didn't appreciate because I'm like, you are no one to lecture me, and the lecturing is worse when you're looking down upon viewers, which
And
is
also, if
worse.
but I feel Sanjeev, if
We've
you
discussed this
can
in
lecture,
Anek,
yeah,
the
you can,
Arnab
Oh yeah.
Sinha
you
film.
can, you
Are we
can
going to
lecture.
bring that
You
movie up now?
No, no, you can lecture
Oh.
if your lecture actually has substantial points also, which we don't know. I feel
Hmm.
that's the other problem. If you're taking the
Hmm.
moral high ground and lecturing down on people, give us
Hmm.
something insightful.
Hmm.
What is insightful in this?
Yeah.
I have no idea. So,
No, I don't
I
think.
mean,
I don't think they have the bandwidth to say something insightful. Keep in
hmm.
mind, I like the movie. I'm just saying
hmm,
they don't have the bandwidth to say something insightful. So they will say the most
Hmm.
obvious thing possible. That
okay.
is the one thing I can definitely state here because that's exactly what happened. But
Hmm.
again,
Hmm.
I don't think at least first half में थोड़ा बहुत हो या ना हो. I don't think second act के तरफ there was so much of lecturing. I never really got that much. ठीक है?
No, it's
Because
Hmm.
not really also about the lecturing. I feel so. I'll just say a couple of things which I thought they did well.
yeah, yeah.
They got
Hmm.
the aesthetics right of
Yes,
certain,
yes.
the lifestyle of this of the particular generation that they're showing, which
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
basically our age group, barring
नहीं
Amartya,
नहीं
I
who's
am
हमसे
हमसे
out of
छोटा है.
छोटे
it.
हैं
I
सर.
am out of
हमसे
it. I
छोटे
am
हैं.
out of it. No, no. हमसे छोटे मेरे से तो छोटे ही है.
हाँ,
तुम दोनों की
हमारे से
एज
भी
के
छोटे हैं.
बराबर है.
Which
तुम
is
दोनों
again,
की
this
एज
is
के
what I
बराबर है.
felt. This is what I
Hmm.
felt. But what I didn't really like was there's this certain artifice. Again, this is again the whole friendship thing. I'm like, you really need to get the dynamics right first before moving on to problems, or just, or there are these certain parts where it's with certain individuals. I'm like, वो explore कर रहे हो but तुम खाली दिखा रहे हो कि हो क्या रहा है, instead of really showing what that person actually wants to do. You get my point? I mean, what really is happening internally? What is the complex issue that really are you talking? There is no complex issue. It is just really something
Yes,
which
sir.
is surface level. I'm like, how do you go beyond just certain observation, right? That for me was a bigger issue. I was like, I don't know what is really going on beyond what is happening on an external basis.
Yeah.
So that is what I felt. And again, the lecturing which happens towards the end, stand up isn't really stand up. It is just random
Stand up
things that
becomes
are being.
lecturing. I was like, क्या है ये? Like
No, no. It
stage
is
I
पे
not
भी
mean,
गया तो
stand
कुछ
up.
भी
before that,
बोलोगे.
also the jokes, the way
हाँ
you're
हाँ
It's
हाँ.
not
kind of
stand up now.
presenting
It's
it
open
feels
mic.
so amateur.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's not
I mean,
stand up though.
open
It's
mic, maybe
open
you
mic.
still
Right?
are
Open mic.
experimenting with
Yeah.
jokes, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Yeah.
But open mics
But
में
the
you do tell
presentation
stories.
itself,
So yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, isn't it
Presentation is bad.
intended to be for?
Yeah, yeah. Presentation.
Spoilers कर
So
रहे हैं आप
that's
पूरा.
what I felt.
आप
I
लोग
mean,
बोलो.
you
हाँ.
have
हाँ.
you have something like Seinfeld and Louis, which have done stand up well. You can look at something, are humorously yours, yeah, which is with Vipul Goyal. I
TVF.
think
हाँ.
that
TVF
did
का.
stand up pretty decently.
Hmm.
from whatever I remember. Again, I haven't seen it in a while, so again,
Mhm.
should I read some comments or
मैग बोलू
abhi delve
मैं
more
बोलू
into
हाँ,
conversation?
कमेंट्स करते
हाँ,
फिर
go
उसके
for it.
बाद we'll go into spoilers.
हम्म
I'll
हम्म
just go with a few comments.
skip the
Nice.
banters
Uh,
between Swapnil and the
no,
people हाँ
I'm
वो
skipping all of that now.
हाँ हाँ
Swapnil Azad says, "Happy New Year is a masterpiece. Only base people will understand."
हाँ हाँ
I know.
ठीक
I
है
understand you, Swapnil.
हाँ we all
Accurately. I
understand you
don't.
it's
Shashwat,
okay
wait, Shashwat
Huh.
says Ananya was impressive in Geraina too, but didn't expect her to stand out this way. I mean,
oh boy
she is pretty good in this film. I really like
she's
others
pretty
Gaurav
good
as
with
well.
she's pretty
Mhm.
good when she plays roles which are just two
Closer
degrees
to her
removed from
reality.
herself yeah 2
But
degrees
this,
Huh,
removed
yeah,
from
that,
I mean,
herself
I
that's
felt
that is
she felt most comfortable in this world, or at least I felt most comfortable watching her in this world
yeah
than any of the other ones.
hmm.
But also, I think it's to
Hmm.
do with the storyline. I like preferred her storyline to the other
Hmm.
two's
Hmm.
storyline. So
Hmm.
Omkar Kulkarni says Dhruv Goyal showing Vipul Goyal anger. Lol. Vipul Goyal,
it's
we
not
just mentioned
anger,
him.
honestly. It's I'm combining my anger for Archie's and this.
yeah we got it yes
Omkar says everyone I know is saying not bad for it though, which has me intrigued.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it genuinely isn't that bad ठीक है it's
I would
just
say it is bang on average. If you have the time to
yeah
spare, then
exactly
sure, but otherwise it's not
हाँ
something.
मतलब
uh,
इतनी भी बुरी नहीं है बट बिलो एवरेज है मेरे लिए.
uh,
Shashwat says Archie's would have definitely done that theatrical shutdown first though. KGHK would have been a Dharma film then officially.
वो तो स्टूडेंट ऑफ
Possibly.
द ईयर है सर. सॉर्ट ऑफ.
Omkar says Archie से तो definitely better होगी.
हाँ उससे
हाँ.
बेटर है उससे बेटर
Hmm.
उस इतनी ऑकवर्ड
Uh,
नहीं है. यस.
Besu Fakid Mulu
हाँ
says
एक
some people are putting that KGHK in the top 10. I didn't want to be the only one mortified by the fact. Good night.
there is a person in the chat only with you Besufega
Yes, that's
Shashwat
true.
himself did that yeah so it's okay
नहीं नहीं
And
बट हाँ. बोलो बोलो बोलो
Swapnil
सॉरी.
says क्यों इस मनहूस अनुभव सिन्हा का नाम ले लिया बार बार इस बात चैनल की डिस्कशंस में. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Omkar sir उस लीग में नहीं. Okay, some possibly some man. Okay, we will continue now and then we'll go back to
can I
comments
say
again.
something can I say
हाँ,
Yes.
please
something
go ahead.
what I thought is कि I first answer me this Dhruv did you think that the friendship was surface level
Yes. No, surface level. Yeah, I was just like, there was too many. Sanjeet and me slightly discussed this. This is like a clipped drama, or like what you call mellow. I
हाँ,
call mellow with the W drama, in the sense that there is not enough marination being given to any of the dynamics I felt. So I was
correct.
never buying most of like especially the bigger moments where they come to save, like the punch, suppose at the end. I was like, what? Why? Like it felt such a thing from like outside somewhere. And
but
I
I
think
think
there, bolo,
yeah
bolo,
yeah
sorry.
अब मुझे I think here's something I मतलब we all have to realize also कि uh, थोड़ा सा तो reality से involved है because this is ultimately Sobo and that is a world Zoe Akhtar is very familiar with.
Yeah.
So now for people which for the generation for which this movie is being made quote unquote the Gen Z's and all of that
Mm-hmm.
they are very much so they are also very much involved in social media to the extent that their friends group is also very much involved within the social media structure jargon and all of it okay
Yeah.
but they are also very good at giving each of them space
Yes.
Hmm.
understand
Yeah,
so
there's
it's
that
like
one shot where all of them are sort of zoned into their own thing. Three of them are
yeah
sitting in that
yeah,
one
yeah.
room, right?
They're very
Sorry
good
to
at
interrupt
giving
though.
yeah
Huh.
yeah
Sorry to interrupt. You can
yeah yeah
continue. My point
hmm.
is, I think I'm more fascinated by how they would have written something like this.
Hmm.
So, as an idea, when they would have been writing, I don't know what the writer's room or really was how they wrote the film together. Zoe
Hmm.
Akhtar, Arjun Varen Singh, and Reema Kakti, that
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What I thought was what could have happened was, they would have been like, what, we're making a film about this subject.
Hmm.
What happens when I am sad? I am always on my phone. When I'm trying to work, I get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when you put just how you discussed exactly how it is, it loses that bit of,
मतलब
that.
you mean to say पेपर से स्क्रीन तक के बीच में जो स्टेप्स होता है
Ha
वो नहीं
ha
है
ha ha. There is
तो yeah
there is that there is no, it's just basic translation.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
not
I get it.
really working on it to make it earned for screen. That's what
Hmm.
we've discussed this multiple times. When you're making a film, there is a certain uh, sense or a language that needs to come into play, because it
Hmm.
cannot just be like, when we've spoken about this multiple times as well. When someone like Adam McKay films makes, takes Twitter thread and rants into film, you feel
Movies,
it
yeah,
is
yeah,
rant and it is not film.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I felt. Okay, these are
Are
good ideas,
yeah.
hmm.
but
But
how are
they
you
needed to be
translating
marinated more.
from
Hmm.
a certain point to screen? Okay, now you
Are
can
you
continue,
are
but this is
no
what
no
I thought.
sorry, but
Hmm.
just one point, minor point. I know this is probably an unfair comparison to bring this film in, but like the dot in
I'm sorry.
Decision to
Continue.
Leave, when it
Hmm.
is playing, has
Hmm.
more of an impact in terms of tension or whatever, compared to whatever red thing, or like you can use
Hmm.
those
Yeah, yeah.
things, nothing else, right? Use that
Again,
Hmm.
in
yeah.
your yeah.
Hmm.
So
Again, I
mm,
think, listen, while we all love decision to leave, I think bringing decision to leave ka technology usage and comparing that with here, I think is unfair, because how
fair enough,
technology
yeah,
used is in that movie is very different. But
yeah,
Huh.
थोड़ा सा similarity भी है, because it's all about the communication throughout. ठीक है?
yeah,
Now,
Hmm.
what I have realized somewhat कि this मतलब जो the generation shown in the movies थोड़ा सा तो reality से match करता है. So
of
for
course.
them
Hmm.
it's like you are involved within social media, you are involved
Hmm.
within the friendship formed between social media as well as reality, but
Hmm.
it's so overwhelming for them because they are so much involved within the constructs of the social media, be it dating, be it Instagram, be it all the
Hmm.
games involved within social media, कि
Hmm.
Hmm.
it sort of bleeds into their reality in a way. So, sometimes they are so involved within that they become completely separate. I like the fact that
Hmm.
those three friends, even in their physical versions, they are
Space.
giving
Hmm.
them the space and the intimacy if they needed it to be. I think that came
Okay.
out quite well for me at least.
Okay.
Or
Hmm.
secondly, the fact that वो when they're sitting on the terrace and they're talking, first of all तो business decisions ऐसे होते नहीं है. I appreciated that
That
advice
scene
कि
also
दोस्तों से
kind of just
दोस्त
dropped in
yeah,
somewhere, huh?
yeah,
Like I was like,
दोस्तों के
everything
I
is
mean,
going on,
I
and I'm
mean,
like,
at some point, even I would have sat down with my friends and discussed some shit, but
हम्म,
yeah,
it's never like
हम्म,
immediate thing, right? I mean,
yeah, but
irrespective of
दोस्तों
the
के
immediacy, or
but
my idea, my point is, you can do those things, but
yeah,
you know, you can again, translating word to
yeah, yeah,
screen. There
yeah.
is no
हम्म,
हाँ, it
हाँ,
doesn't matter अगर हमारे साथ ये नहीं हुआ personally. That is
yeah,
like
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff in cinema that happens which hasn't happened to
हम्म,
us as people,
huh,
right? You
true,
have to
हम्म,
convince
हम्म.
us. It's as simple as that. I wasn't
correct,
convinced
correct.
I
much
mean दोस्तों के
about
साथ
it.
I mean first of all तो दोस्तों के साथ business मत करो. That's the best advice anybody can give
But
anybody.
इसमें वो भी देते हैं ना,
ठीक है,
उसका पापा
ठीक है.
देता है.
हाँ, सुनो सुनो मेरा बात
हाँ,
सुनो पहले.
हाँ,
So when they're sitting together and when they're talking about it,
yeah.
the fact that Ananya Pandey's character suddenly jumps up and down and she starts talking about it, to
Hmm.
which Varun's joke is fucking great. MBA
What is Varun's
bitches, and
joke? Oh.
Varun was like 12th fail beta. So I'm like bang on, bang on. But the point being कि when that happens and when she suddenly says ढूंढना क्यों है मैं तो हूँ,
हाँ,
and
हाँ.
then the guy suddenly says कि पैसे I mean कितने पैसे चाहिए now. In a vacuum, if you look at it from a narrative standpoint, these are just random moments coming out of nowhere, springing out of nowhere कि एक
Hmm.
सेकेंड इतना इंटीमेसी है कहाँ से आ गया. मतलब वो गाने का वीडियो से तो पता नहीं चलेगा ना कि इतना इंटीमेसी है. बट इफ यू थिंक
Yes.
अबाउट इट फ्रॉम अ मतलब थोड़ा बहुत contextual standpoint, and if you think about the generation which is capturing, these are people who are way too young, who have you know dreams on their head,
Yeah.
and who have enough money to spare.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So they are like, we are going to use the money to change quote unquote our world.
Yeah. No, no. So
But they are
Amartya, I didn't mind the fact that he decided to invest ekdam se. Like
yeah, yeah,
that's not the issue. It's the conception of the scene itself when it
yeah,
happens in
yeah.
the film, right?
Hmm.
I'm like,
Hmm.
ये कहाँ से आया सीन? Like हजार चीजें चल रही थी साइड में और ये बीच में ये डाल दिया है कुछ and I'm like, wait a second,
No,
guys.
but it's
Like
like
you're
somebody, I think somebody wrote this, somebody had
hmm,
written this. I can't take credit for this.
hmm,
Somebody was like, narrative feels like three different people having their own lives separately, and then they suddenly collide, collision हो जाता है, फिर then they get up, recover, and then they move on from their lives again. That's what it felt like. Now he took it as a positive, ठीक है, and many of us are taking it as a negative. I took it as somewhat of a positive, but it felt like that. I
Okay.
also liked how social media was showcased, because
Hmm.
especially for
Really?
Ananya Pandey's version. I'm not
Okay.
talking about entirely. Ki,
Okay.
she's so obsessed with getting her boyfriend back, that she's playing the hard to get game. Then she's taking pictures and basically
Hmm.
posting thirst trap. It's damn disbelieving that a woman like Ananya Pandey never thought first to ever post sexy pictures of herself. But you get the idea.
No,
That's very weird.
so
But
this
jo bhi ho.
this kind of reminded me, well, not of exactly of this, but it reminded me a little bit of the Priyanka Chopra thing in Dil Dhadakne Do, where she is this modern progressive whatever woman, but she's also kind of held back by, like, there's that whole thing
Her
ki
husband.
wo husband ka, like, she has to. And isme I think Ananya Pandey ka thing is that she's attached to this person to an unhealthy obsession, whatever, unhealthy degree in a sense, but she
Hmm.
doesn't really need to be, considering what her social status and whatever her
Hmm.
thing is. So I was like, that was one conflict. I was like, okay, I kind of see it.
Hmm.
Though I think I prefer it and how it's executed in Dil Dhadakne Do, which is a different case and
Yeah, that's a
different.
different
No,
thing
but in
Yeah.
general,
altogether.
I think the film is more empathetic towards Ananya's character in general,
हाँ, it
more
is.
Yes.
than more
नहीं
than the other
अरे
two.
why is it not सिद्धांत के लिए तो it's super
I mean, वो तो एंड में उसको रिडेम्पशन दे दिया ना. But
वो
Hmm.
भी
throughout
बात
the film
करनी
की
है
बात
हाँ
है.
by
I
the
think
way
Ananya's
वो
Or
she gets a lot of meat to chew on as a character also, and I think
yeah
in general she does well also in that.
I
yeah
think for Adarsh Kaurav's character, I think you two will agree with me. I think his conflict point is established quite well. He has a chip on his shoulder. I think that is established quite well. But
yeah
Adarsh Kaurav's character
Hmm.
का subplot is so dependent on the payoff. ठीक है ना,
yeah
कि how you are making a person like that into an internet troll. It's so dependent on the payoff that the payoff needed to be good. The payoff is utter trash.
yeah
The payoff is utter
Hmm.
trash. That's what I felt.
But the
And
point is, Adarsh is very good in the role, so that he sells it also really well.
yes,
That
yes,
is,
yes.
I think,
That
the
is the
redeeming
hmm,
part.
hmm,
hmm.
hmm, hmm.
Huh.
And
Because I was like, this is just like when okay, I can understand that a person can become troll, but
hmm.
I didn't know it just felt very lame when he went to Sonakshi Sinha. I mean, UK. I don't know what was the need of
I
showing
think
those bits. Karan
no, no.
Johar,
I think
Sonakshi Sinha, or whatever.
that is because it's like the makers are also like, yeah, we are going to show him becoming a troll. Then they're suddenly like, can the audience understand this? Okay, let us show them in a way that they can understand. Karan Johar, the one poster boy for troll attack. So let's
Hmm.
show
That's
a
just
troll attacking Karan Johar. I'm like redundant, but
No,
okay,
but
fine.
yeah, very
I was
redundant and
not
just so lame. I
Hmm,
was like, this is not
hmm,
I was
okay.
not a fan of how it's like
But I think
like short also, like the way it sort of it's like a phone ka screen of course is reflected on his face, and then he starts to scroll and
hmm,
it becomes very montagey. And I was like, उसमें high score तो डाल दिया, and आदर्श गौरव के मुंह पे close up डाल दिया, उसका ये मतलब थोड़ी ना कि you get everything of what
but
he's supposed to feel or whatever.
Because it's Adarsh, he's at least matlab, selling the entire thing to a certain extent.
that's what
Alright,
he
okay,
sells
Hmm,
it. I mean,
hmm,
he's good enough to, at least for me, he was good enough to sell it.
yeah.
So
hmm,
that in a sense is okay. But
Hmm.
I'm like, the points that you're using to, take the character from a certain point to a certain point, I thought they was just too lame. You
Yeah.
needed,
I also
I
thought
know,
there were
I know you
gaps. I was
needed,
like, ये इतनी जल्दी कहाँ से जा रहा है? Like whatever. Like I was just
But
like,
I kind of bought कि आदर्श गौरव का कैरेक्टर का चीप ऑन शोल्डर क्यों है? Because we saw थोड़ा बहुत उसका quote unquote humble origin. Though to be fair to everybody out there, बॉम्बे में जिसका घर है ना, वो humble नहीं है. You have a house
सर
in Bombay.
ये
I'm just
पिक्चर
saying.
ये पिक्चर क्लास के साथ नहीं डील कर रही किसी भी एंगल में, तो वो तो छोड़ ही देते हैं, वो
क्या
तो
कह रहे हो
वेक्टर
क्लास
नहीं
के
है।
क्या कह रहे हो क्लास के साथ डील नहीं करे क्लास के साथ तो डील कर रहा है आदर्श गौरव के कैसे इज द मार्कर फॉर क्लास जोया अख्तर टाइगर बेबीज डेफिनेशन ऑफ क्लास नॉट एक्चुअल अनुराग कश्यप्स डेफिनेशन ऑफ क्लास और व्हाटएवर बट माय
ओके
पॉइंट इज हाँ बट जो भी हो ना मतलब हाउस मतलब हम्बल नहीं है बट आई एम बाइंग इनटू द वर्ल्ड सो
ओके
वो थोड़ा दिखा रहा है कि वो वर्ल्ड पे है. Now he's a gym trainer training all the higher class people
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
of that. So he's earning a lots of money. So he has bigger dreams and all of that stuff.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
obviously he gets shat on of all those dreams because
Yeah.
people are much more selfish and much more you know adept at manipulating the world than he is.
Yeah.
So again, it's like Sanjeet said, ideas are there, but translation from paper to screen is very amateurish to a certain extent.
Can
It
we
Hmm.
talk
felt at
about
least for me.
the highway storyline slash child abuse as a plot reveal
अरे
storyline?
उतना दूर क्यों जा रहे हो? उतना दूर क्यों जा रहे हो? पहले पहले उसके पहले जो प्लॉट रिवील जो है, मतलब लेट्स पील द ऑनियन बैक समवhat. ठीक है, सो द अक्षय खन्ना बिट ऑफ दिल चाहता है which is being transplanted
Yes.
into Siddhant Chaturvedi. So let's
Arey,
go
that
there.
too is.
Yeah,
हाँ,
yeah,
Like
वो तो
go for it.
एक्सेल का स्टेपल
comparing
है.
those in your head though, like it's like जमीन
हाँ,
आसमान का है. Like ये
हाँ,
क्या dramatic वो हो है,
हाँ.
like
वो
Go
तो
for it.
compare
एक्सेल का
feeling.
स्टेपल है. At this point, it's like Farhan. See, I'm showing this to you, and Farhan is like a cool man. I don't care. So it's like ठीक है, जो भी हो. But then the only thing I liked about that entire relationship was the song. You know, when they are romancing, that song which is playing in the background. That song is really great. I have listened to that song on a loop. That is the only
Okay.
thing. That song really helps you think about selling the relationship rather than the screenplay, which is not selling
I
the
actually
relationship at
think
all.
one of the big I was because I was scrolling back through some of the film to note down some of the amazing dialogue that is there in this film. Uh,
What the fact that
there
Tinder photography
no no
of
no no
Tinder
no no not
bios.
not that. No no the
That
way
is such a
Kalki
ridiculous thing. I am like, artsy fartsy people will look at you and they will laugh.
no the way Kalki actually or Kalki however she says a lot of the lines actually has a very she says it very seriously or has like that whole इसको आप सुनो बहुत profound है ये like she has
Because
that
she is
voice to
35.
enunciate it.
Because she is 35. And to be fair, as a person who is 30, हम उतने profound नहीं है. Please, उतारो हमें pedestal से. हमें भी life
यार,
का कुछ पता नहीं है.
Hmm.
it's okay. हाँ, go. You guys continue. Continue.
नहीं नहीं बस I mean there's that whole हमारा no हमारा tension what's the whole Kalki का वो thing which is in the trailer also um it's the digital age or whatever
Oh
it
yeah,
is
yeah.
and it's like
And that line,
like
so I'm like, that line, I'm like, this is like Raju Hirani level of dialogue. Man.
sir you
सक्सेस के पीछे
don't
मत
drag
भागो,
Raju
excellence,
no
excellence के
don't
पीछे
drag Raju
भागो.
Hirani into this don't drag him into this okay the simple and it's a good I mean you have dragged him into this so I will nicely kind of say what the issue actually with a lot of
No, I got it. Yeah, yeah.
this message ye Zoya Akhtar has been doing the whole middle cinema for a while huh like it's the sort of thoda
For people who
European
have no idea
hai
what is middle cinema, for people who have no idea
thoda
what
sa
is middle
I
cinema.
mean it's like a toned down version of whatever your classic Bollywood melodrama is essentially and
I'm
then
sorry. I really need to show this comment. I'm very sorry.
okay
I cannot.
Yes.
listen I have heard enough from
Varun
you
praise.
guys.
Yes, more Hirani slander.
बट हिरानी को क्यों स्लैंडर करोगे ये पिक्चर एग्जाम्पल
I'm
है कि
not
उसका सिनेमा
slander.
क्यों बट ये पिक्चर एग्जैक्ट एग्जाम्पल है कि उसका सिनेमा मैसेज मूवी मेकिंग बेटर क्यों करता है इससे लाइक दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट
करता
एग्जाम्पल
था, करता था.
वेल डंकी
I
नॉट
haven't
काउंटेड
seen
यस
Donkey.
यू साइटेड थ्री इडियट्स का एग्जाम्पल ओके लाइक
I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying that movie also had message oriented filmmaking. This movie also had the same thing. That's
मैसेज
all I'm
ओरिएंटेड
saying.
है बट उसमें लोग भी इंटरेस्टिंग हैं जो तीन कैरेक्टर्स हैं
True.
हाँ
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that that's the close
I'm huh.
comparison we
No,
can
but
make.
for me, this is the one of the fundamental issues, and this will slightly sort of also go into three of us a little bit. If you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
transition, we can from this point.
ये
But
बस हो गया. अरे लास्ट 15 मिनट है जिसपे टाइगर बेबी
हाँ
गोज
हाँ
ओवरलोड.
ठीक है तो नहीं आई वाज अबाउट टू से कि जस्ट वो मिडिल सिनेमा जो है ना कि हम सटल करेंगे बट हम पूरा लाइक कमिट नहीं करेंगे एसेंशियली टू बीइंग सुपर सटल और बीइंग सुपर मेलोड्रामेटिक
Hmm. Hmm.
एंड उसके
Hmm.
बीच में यू इंसर्ट दीज मैसेजेस in the most clunky way possible and I'm like that is the issue actually with a lot of her film her films which
Recently.
overdrive even like it's no this issue started since Dil Dhadkne Do with the Pluto thingy.
Oh yeah,
I was okay with that, huh? Honestly, that
I
for me
didn't like the
worked.
Pluto thing. So like
that
I think
Pluto
it
thing was
started from
bad.
there. I thought the Pluto thing was her again, her whole whatever. Let's teach everyone everything, and I'm like,
No,
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 don't
it,
but
don't
you
do
know what
that.
because
it's
that
like.
subject is also makes it okay now for me. I
You know
am
what it's
saying
like.
when
Hmm.
it's like when you have a certain staple of certain subjects, it can kind of complement with that, but
Hmm.
not with everything. Not some with something like this.
You know
Not
also
for
what
a
the thing is.
generation
It's
who is already always lectured, na, in general.
Hmm. Also, you know what the thing is. It's like staple sort of review writing or critique writing. जब conclusion में everybody's encapsulating all the points of the review into one single paragraph or two lines.
Hmm.
Yeah.
ये जोया अख्तर का सीन बेसिकली वही है. सडनली लास्ट 15 मिनट में दे आर सडनली लाइक वेट स्क्रिप्ट तो चल रहा है हमारा मैसेज किधर है. अरे मैसेज तो करना पड़ेगा. अरे
You
मैसेज
know,
दो एंड
there used to be
या
this comedy show which used to come, huh? It was called Comedy Circus on Sony.
या
Okay.
या
And I used to watch it every weekend with my family.
Hmm.
But there used to be these two comedians who are
या
also kind of actors and have appeared in movies,
Yeah.
Sudesh and Krishna. And they
Uh
kind
huh.
of made it a joke that you need to deliver a message at your in your comedy set every time.
या
Hmm.
And it became like a joke that
Hmm.
बात तो हो गई लेकिन मैसेज क्या है एंड देन आउट ऑफ नोवेयर जस्ट दे जस्ट डाइवर्ट इनटू समथिंग एल्स एंड
Hmm.
tell a certain message which is not even related to the comedy set. Like let's
या
say if they're doing a comedy set about something like a
हाँ
person running a shop, the
Hmm.
message would be आज से सिगरेट पीना बंद करो. So
हाँ
Oh.
I'm saying this, it's not too dissimilar, but
I I am
but
calling a I'm calling a
it's so
challenge to I'm calling a challenge to every comic Indian filmmakers, who make
Hmm.
comedy. If you have the guts, make a parody Tiger Baby movie. Go ahead. I'm
खुद
giving
ही
you
की
free
पैरोडी है
pitch.
सर, क्या बनाओगे
no, but
पैरोडी,
okay,
पैरोडी का
so
पैरोडी
so
बनाओगे.
yeah,
Uh,
something like Dahad, it kind of works
Hmm.
because
huh,
the kind of subject also you're choosing, right? It becomes
hmm.
I mean,
inherent,
I hate to
inherent, right?
bring up the guy whose name people in our comments don't want us to
So don't
bring,
bring
but
it up. We got it. We got it. We got it.
yes,
Anubhav
he
Sinha.
does it.
Yeah,
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 he
of
has
Yeah.
course.
good
No,
frameworks to
no,
do
I am
this.
talking something which Excel only made, right?
Hmm, hmm,
Okay.
With
hmm,
something Zoyak the Reema Kakti only made.
hmm.
I
I
mean,
think
they do it
Dahad did it
well
really
in
well.
Luck by Chance. अगर जो भी करते हैं in Luck by Chance and Zindagi,
No,
they've
that's
done
what
it
I'm saying.
more
You need to have
believably. Yeah.
certain. So I'm saying your messaging can also work. Your preachy mode can also work if you have the subjects also right. I don't think
Ye-
so. Some
Listen,
like okay,
preachy
गली
mode.
बॉय में भी जो भी ज्ञान दे रहे हो ठीक है वो समझ में आता है because it can still go with certain subjects. But something like this, something like Archie, something like Made in Heaven, नहीं सुनना यार. It's not
Listen,
so.
listen. Preachy mode will never work now. ठीक है? This is an era in which nobody wants to be lectured. We have seen enough shit in the world. ठीक है? News में बहुत कुछ
Hmm.
कचरा हो रहा है. Nobody wants to be lectured. ठीक है? So
I think
if you are
people,
going to make
I actually don't think people will mind being lectured if the tone of the lecture is a very, conversational one. Here,
Hmm.
it's like you are dummies and हम आपको
Hmm.
सिखाएंगे कुछ. That is the
yeah.
difference. Like you
Yeah, it's
can
like
engage in
Adarsh Gaurav का
conversation.
character. It's like Adarsh Gaurav का पहली बात तो I'm so sorry to Anya Singh, the influencer. I'm so sorry that you had to act in a movie where your character was treated like dog shit from beginning to end. ठीक है
Hmm.
पहली बात तो इन्फ्लुएंसर को लाते हो क्योंकि व्यूज चाहिए फिर इन्फ्लुएंसर को इतना बदतर बदतर तरीके से यूज करते हैं अरे
That तो is full hypocrisy only, huh?
या
Full
So
on.
अरे
hypocrisy तो पूरी पिक्चर
And
में
I,
ही
I
है, वो
read
क्या
the
बोल
full
रहे हो
credits.
आप?
You got all influencers, huh?
या आई एम लाइक अरे
You know
क्या हो
which
रहा है
film does this influencer thing and empathy for influencers really well?
which
Bala. You
which is
remember
Bala
Ayushmann
wait
Khurrana
hold
movie?
on oh yeah
Nice,
got
Yami
nice,
it
Gautam's
Sanjeet.
character,
Actually,
yeah.
now that you've mentioned it, that's a better film about social media than this.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Wo,
okay
it
hold
is
on
about image also, no, in so many ways.
Yeah,
But
it's about image. Yeah.
okay so from वो influencer का section से let's piggyback to what happened to her character how Adarsh Gaurav's character effectively quote unquote hacks into her account
I'm
and
sorry, I
does all
really
of
need
this.
to. I'm very
Yeah, yeah.
sorry. I just need to put this comment. Huh? Varun says
Takla
Takla Ayushmann blackface Bhumi.
Well, yes,
yes.
it is
You can
that.
continue now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So my point being कि उसमें जो आदर्श गौरव कैरेक्टर जो करता है ठीक है पहली
Hmm.
बात तो जो
Hmm.
करता है वो डिस्पिकेबल है आई गेट इट but again because it's Adarsh Gaurav he sells the character and you somewhat understand why he's doing this. What
Okay.
really pissed me off
Hmm.
is immediately after that of all people Ananya Pandey's character states Nobody should do that. You shouldn't do that. Blah blah. Blah. I'm like, and then suddenly it clicked in my head. Oh wait, this is a Tiger BB production. Moralizing shuru ho gaya. Chalo. Yes. That was the moment I'm like, oh boy, this is going to go downhill real quick. And I'm
Sir,
not
I
I
think.
need to.
joking to you. I'm not joking to
Huh.
you. I immediately when that happened, I'm like, oh god. And I'm not making this as a disparaging to anybody who is subject to trauma or all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, this is not a
Mhm. No, no,
disparaging
of
for me
course
to
not.
any.
None of us are. It's just
Yeah,
that
yeah.
how you kind of put it in your film is
Of
the
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
problem, no?
but yeah. So I was like, oh my god, they're going to put a dark past story to one of the characters, aren't they?
No,
Oh
I mean, they
god,
hinted at the
rich people.
beginning.
Yeah, yeah, rich people need a dark past which they can't open up to their therapists about.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh
why?
Jesus Christ.
Why can't he just be a sex addict? Why
Yeah.
can't he just be a sex
Hmm.
addict? Why does he need a dark past to be a sex addict? That's not necessary.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, look at hunger. But hunger nahi,
No,
shame.
hunger,
Look at
shame.
shame.
But
Look at
shame में तो है
shame.
थोड़ा past वाला system, but
थोड़ा
whatever.
है,
No, but the way
थोड़ा.
you
It's
also do
hinted
it
at.
is in a
Hmm.
certain
But
way,
वो
no?
तो
अरे,
issue है ही ना, because you're taking a sample plate of, like, your whatever issues we have to discuss and distributing it to three characters here. तो depth में तो you can't go that much in any case. चलो ठीक है, वो दे दिया picture को, depthless है. Fine. Social media is depthless, right? Doesn't make a difference. No, it's okay. Like,
Hmm.
fine, right? We don't want depth. It's a depthless whatever thingy. कुछ और दे दो फिर. ये नहीं सुनना
I
मुझे कि like.
I think
Hmm.
there is also something to do with people who've liked it also. Okay, and again, this is just my take or my analysis
mhm,
in general.
Hmm.
There is a certain aesthetic which does sell to people. You
yes.
remember Gehraiya?
Salt
The
burn, you
way it is
said, no?
shot,
Salt
the way it
burn.
looks, the way it kind
क्यों
of
उस मूवी को
feels
ला रहे हो?
or
क्यों उस
sounds.
मूवी को
No,
ला रहे
I'm
हो?
वो
telling
इससे
you,
better है.
there is a certain way
Oh
the
hell no!
how
I
a film
refuse to
looks and
accept.
sounds as well,
I'm
which
so I'm so sorry to interrupt. This is just a rant. I'm so sorry to interrupt. There is no fucking way Emerald Fennel made a better movie than this. There is no fucking
It
way.
is better than
Continue.
this. Sorry, sir.
Continue.
Yes, okay.
what
Continue.
salt burn? Are you talking about salt burn?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm not
Saltburn.
talking about it, but my point is there is a certain way, like how modern day movies now kind of have this certain look, which is has that slight Instagram aesthetic, which
Mhm,
has that
mhm.
sunlight pouring in, has flowers on the wall, um,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
how
mean,
the film
Instagram,
sounds.
perfect one perfect shot
I'm not
sort of
talking
thing.
about similarities of
Again, yeah, but
technicalities.
again,
Okay,
it's
my
hmm.
point is there is something which kind of does attract people,
Yeah,
and
it
I think we
attracted
do
me. I
need to
like the
accept that.
music. I like the music. It attracted
No,
me.
I'm again this
I'm being
my
yeah.
point is you're taking just I'm not you like I'm not blaming you for
I got
liking
it.
something. I'm just saying I my point is how how they've been conceived and made now. That for me is
फिर
more
Hmm.
ऐसा
interesting कि
ऐसा
मतलब वो
होता तो
लोगों ने
फिर तो
क्या सोचा
टेरेंस
और
वाले
क्या
की पिक्चरें
बनाया।
भी चल जाती हैं.
अरे टेरेंस
हाँ
मैलिक
तो
के
वही तो
पिक्चर में तो
बास्टर्डाइज करके
ऑपेराटिक
चीजें बन रही हैं।
आई
हाँ
नो.
वही
आई
तो
नो.
बास्टर्डाइज करके चीजें बन रही हैं। सिंपल सी
अरे
बात है।
so when you know it, you can also choose to mellow down just a tad bit. You know already that this is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
बट
So
सर मेलो डाउन क्यों हूँ जब पिक्चर ही मेलो डाउन है? इतनी तो बचेगा क्या? इमोशन भी नहीं फील करो क्या देखते वक्त कुछ?
part which I hated is open mic में you suddenly open up your trauma. I'm like open mic में तो इतना open up नहीं करना चाहिए था.
That is
Live
exactly what I was going to say. हाँ।
yeah
लाइक
life
ठीक है भाई, अब
reclamation
Okay,
life reclamation के मत में life reclamation के लिए you are basically just being whatever. I'm like
I'm going to comments now because there are a lot
yeah
of
श्योर.
comments that we need to cover before we move on to three of
श्योर.
us.
यस
yeah
यस, वी आर
Okay.
मूविंग ऑन. हो क्या ये?
Okay, get ready. Varun says, I would argue about using child sex abuse as a crutch is fucking
yes
stupid
I
and
agree
extremely insensitive.
I completely agree yeah
I even had it. I had a problem with highways use of it a little bit, to be honest. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Huh. Okay, next comment is again by Varun. No Gerhaya needed. Dhruv Krishna Goyal
Yes.
2024.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, quickly going to next comment. Omkar says, Chalo nikalna padega. Thank Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Omkar. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining in.
you. Thank you for
But Omkar
joining.
still has some more comments though.
Okay.
वैसे भी गहराइया का नाम ले लिया फिर से हाँ भाई गलती हो गई was terribly written and acted in Highway, probably a hot take.
Not a hot take. I don't like that film.
At
Well,
least
I
that's
don't
what
not like
I
it,
actually
but
don't
yes,
remember that bit. I mean, I do remember, but I don't
it's
remember
very
the effect of
central.
it. on me
I don't
in
remember that movie, to be very
Highway.
honest.
No, I remember the bit, but I don't remember the effect on me. I do like Highway though.
Hmm.
No, I like how the
Uh,
soundtrack is amazing.
Hmm.
of course.
Uska soundtrack,
Uh,
yes, yeah.
Another comment is by Swapnil Azad. He says only Amartya the Bengali will get this. Writers, after writing a
Exactly.
bad
I got it.
character
I got it. Yep,
nowadays,
yep, yep.
be like ki balar character matha
I got it.
nosto
I got it. Yeah,
lagao
yeah.
child abuse
Laga
provide.
child. अरे
It's like
X
a
is equal Swapnil, X is equal to Prem. X is equal to Prem. The main female
I
character
mean,
has the same
didn't that film
traumatic
come out
past.
last year or last to last year, 2022?
Last to last year. Again, another Srijit Mukherjee bakwas. Anyway, let's continue.
so it's like the
Okay.
go to jail free card sort of that way.
And that is
So
bad, nah. You are using,
of course it is bad.
matlab you are in a supermarket called trauma here. So you enter the supermarket and now you are
यार
taking the most
ये तो
expensive
बाजी हो
trauma.
गया है दूसरा दो कोई क्या
Yeah,
चल रहा है आजकल
ये तो
yeah.
मासी हो गया.
The most
मक्खियां भिनभिना
expensive
रही उस पे
trauma. Yeah, you're the most expensive trauma trope. And I'm like, kya hai?
Okay, Shashwat says
I
Luck by
agree,
Chance is Zoya's
Shashwat.
career best work. Really, such a masterful, pitch perfect movie about movies fabrication.
I
Absolutely correct. I
agree.
100% agree.
अब
Hmm.
क्या हो गया
Uh,
है?
Varun says
I-
The Hard had a different showrunner
yes,
though.
yeah. I
I
agree,
don't.
agree.
No, I think Reema
Yeah.
Kagti and Zoya Akhtar were only show
No,
running that.
there was another person.
Ritesh Shah
There
was a
was
co-writer, but I don't know if well, there
no.
was. I don't
Two
know. I
of them
could be
were
wrong.
showrunning. Yeah, yeah. जो भी हो, continue.
आगे
Okay,
चलो सर.
Swapnil Azad says मुझको पैसा दे दे टाइगर बेबी को नंगा कर दूंगा पैरोडी कर करके सही है सही है
करो सर, नंगा करो.
Swapnil Azad says Amartya, do you even take film criticism seriously or not? Varun says very
Very
rich
rich
middle
middle.
cinema.
Yeah, it is very rich middle cinema.
Okay,
Yeah.
Varun says
Uh,
again, not entirely true, Amartya. There are people who own real estate in these areas who have inherited, not bought. And असली नौकरी असली दुनिया में विरासत में हमेशा नहीं मिलती.
Yeah, that
This
is
is
absolutely
with
true.
reference to
Yeah. That is
the
absolutely
house
true.
thing.
Hmm.
Swapnil Azad says, Marxist intellectual Amartya speaking, guys.
भाई कुछ तो सेंसिबल कहने दे यार.
Shashwat says, lovely film,
Lovely.
12th fail. I agree. Absolutely film. Lovely film.
yes.
Omkar says, 12th fail, परसों फिर से देखी क्या film है? Okay, this 12th fail
Uh,
love,
uh,
which we
Yes.
all agree to.
Yeah.
yeah, we all
One
agree.
Okay.
film which we all agree.
Gents,
Yeah,
Varun
that's true.
says, gents does not the
Does
painful insertion of Bollywood people take one out of the film to say
I know what
nothing of
he's
the
trying.
nepotism defense.
okay?
Varun is a
Elaborate
avid
on the nepotism ka
Farhan
defense.
Akhtar
Hmm.
disliker, I want to say.
Yes.
Uh,
Elaborate on the nepotism ka defense
to say nothing of the nepotism defense in the sense that, oh, like
in the
in the film,
movie.
how it's like defended.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Kaha hai?
Tha
That's what
kuch
I'm asking.
tha, like there is some odd mention here and there. I've forgotten. I mean, abhi dekhi thi but bhul gaya.
Wow, wow, wow.
But but
I
मुझे
have
जो
an
नहीं है ना
excuse. I
He
picture.
saw.
finds it
I
proper.
Hmm.
yes. Yeah.
Shashwat says, as someone who hit 20 like yesterday, the friendships of the Insta gen are nearly as
Yes.
unidimensional, I think.
Exactly.
And closely, no, that is
That's what.
not something that I disagree with.
But
My
the
point
film
is the
needs to
way
either
you
lean
kind of
into
show
it,
it.
no?
Sorry?
But
Film needs
that's
to
what they are
lean
also.
into it though.
But that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they
yeah.
are. But they
No,
are.
and if that's the case between those three friends themselves, I think it needs to lead into either the possible fragility of it breaking between those three because it's being saturated by it. Because even you see the opening
Correct.
credits, right? They use that same Snapchat filter and whatever nonsense to
Correct.
show their friendship. I'm like, if their friendship is supposed to be quote unquote the counter to this whatever 20th 21st digital age, I suppose,
I don't think
Kalki's
so. It's
digital
going to
age
going as a counter.
thingy.
I don't think so. It's
We
going as a
sound.
counter though.
We sound so much out of date, guys. You have no idea. We are sounding the most
No, no,
out
Sir,
no.
of date people.
sir,
And I have an
problem ये है.
excuse. I have
हाँ.
an excuse. मेरा age is an excuse. What are you two? You
सर,
तुम दोनों का
प्रॉब्लम
excuse
ये
क्या है?
है प्रॉब्लम ये है आजकल ऑनेस्टली दैट इफ यू से समथिंग व्हिच इज आउट ऑफ whatever your traditional thing, you are said to be out of touch, which is fine. वो भी मान लिया, चलो ठीक है. But अब क्या कर सकते हैं? Like honestly, my big problem with a film like this like let's leave everything, is that I was shit bored while watching it. Okay, I was looking at my phone, and Sanjeet knows how much I actually
No, he
never look
hates.
at my phone while
Yeah,
watching.
he never does it. He
I
never does it.
I was genuinely bored out of my mind. I was like, why is this movie so bloody long? Like
I
these are
Hmm.
like the
basic
That
music.
complaints.
I like the music.
I
well,
I
didn't
thought
even
but
that
care
you
is
for
the
the
always
one
music.
use
thing.
music as a crutch to get through, na?
I'm not using it as
Always.
a crutch. I'm saying that is the one thing that removes the boredom somewhat. That's all I'm saying. मैं crutch के बारे में
नहीं नहीं,
नहीं
it's
कह रहा हूँ.
fair enough. हाँ,
No,
ठीक है,
no.
ठीक है.
I think what people have also lapped onto is, if you're relating to something, you just liking something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
वो नहीं
and
होता
that
Just
ना.
that
because
that
it,
is something easier to do as well. But you really need to look up how I am looking at it as a complete film. Okay,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, हाँ relatable
Hmm.
चीजें होंगी, but how are you showing it on screen for me is more important.
But sir, I
Yes.
think now,
But
and also I think it's just a matter of easy answers. I think films which
correct.
give you easy answers, which is why I think this is like like it's draped in this whole I am intellectual, and I am
No,
going
no.
to
I don't think.
teach
I
you
don't think it's
stuff.
draped. No, no. I don't think it's just draped into I'm intellectual stuff. Also, I think it's more draped into the fact that you know, for some reason, because perhaps because the proliferation of the internet and all that stuff, the younger generation, uh, like Shashwat, they are all extremely into the pulse of mental health and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
they know terminology more, and
हाँ.
the prevalent definition of that is कि terminology अगर ज़्यादा मतलब मुझे पता हो, I can
हाँ.
I can give voice to a problem which I have, you know, and I will
Hmm.
deal with it because now I now have a voice to deal, because I now have a definition to deal with it. You get my point? That's therapy
Hmm.
speak to a certain degree. But that is
हाँ.
also oversimplification. That is
Yeah, it
oversimplifying a lot
is.
of the
Correct. Correct.
nuances.
Hmm.
That is oversimplifying a lot of them, and
Yeah.
that's also a problem.
Hmm.
It's like I understand that you're talking about the generation ka problems, but
Yeah.
talking about the generation ka problems and then utilizing that same problems in your own storytelling doesn't work, na. you're
No,
making
it
you're
doesn't.
making a movie you're making a movie about the Gen Z, but your writing is also Gen Z. Kaise hoga?
Yeah.
your
Hmm.
writing
Huh,
can't be
like
your
try
writing
try
can't be an Instagram caption. Your writing
differentiate
can't be an
yourself a
Instagram caption.
little bit. Differentiate yourself a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
Correct.
I'm like, okay,
yeah.
whatever. Can we move on, please, Sanjeet, from this?
Yes. Next comment is Shashwat. He says, apart from the buddy film narrative, I feel it's like a sociology school case study. Only that I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but I think the whole sociology school case study is something I have a issue with, I suppose. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Shashwat mentioned it like well in terms of the sociology school case study. I am trying to think of other films which have done this sort of, dissection. I can't think of any film in like Hindi cinema which has done this social media thing. What you said, Bala, I think is a good example how it uses comedy to approach it. But
Hmm.
I can't think of.
No,
I
but
know other like
even though if it's
international
a
films.
comedy, you kind of still have empathy for that person.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I remember, I was thinking about Ingrid Goes West because I really enjoy that film,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
like
that
Oh
movie
yeah,
is
even I
great.
like that one.
it's about like the
Yeah, I
whole
That
really
is
like that
very
one.
good.
stalker
Yeah.
whatever thingy, and
Hmm.
I'm like, that's a very
Yeah.
interesting whatever dive into the whole mindset of a person who's
An
there's
actual
all.
Instagram obsessed, social media obsessed
Yeah, I thought like
individual.
I guess I also prefer something more specific, so I suppose we can go into that. Case study is just case
Hmm.
study maybe, but I would say I hate to again last dig at this movie. We'll move forward. I'm like I think case study maybe this is like overview and what Amartya said conclusion. बीच का कुछ नहीं है उसमें.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
हाँ.
It's like a literature, it's like a literature study. कभी कोई research होता है, पहले literature study करना पड़ता है, ठीक है? So literature
Yeah.
study लिख के you have to write a complete overview. This movie feels like that to a certain degree. I can only say that the literature review is quite at least better written than just थप्पा लगा के publish कर दो, वैसा नहीं है, at least थोड़ा
हाँ.
बहुत ठीक
Hmm.
ठाक है, according to me.
नहीं नहीं ठीक है सर हम लोग
I,
नहीं नहीं मैं
I
ज़्यादा
think we
बोल
should
दिया
move on
मुझे
to three
हाँ.
of us because we are already hitting 1 hour mark.
Yes.
ठीक है लंबा कर देंगे एपिसोड ये वाला 1.5 घंटे कर देंगे ठीक है.
हाँ.
I
कोई
think
नहीं
So
anyways
देखेगा
three
three
of
of
पर.
three. No, but anyways, I think three of us, maybe a lot of us will have similar points of praise at least. So
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
yeah. So yes, you
Uh,
can introduce
Another
it.
Varun comment. I think couple of comments and then we move on. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, Varun says in DCH friendship was 3D. This was very, very one dimensional. If there is such a thing as a decimal dimension less than one, the friendship of KGHK lies there.
To a certain
Hmm.
extent, there is, but the dimension which you are talking about, that's not the decimal dimension. But जो भी हो, चलो. There is a decimal dimension somewhat, but जो भी हो.
ठीक है, ठीक है. हाँ, चलो सर, 3 of us चलो. भूलते हैं इस
Okay, three
फ़िल्म
of
को.
us. Let's move on to three of us, which is also on Netflix now. If you haven't watched it, please watch it.
Mhm.
Initial thoughts, Amartya?
Loved it. Genuinely did not expect to love it,
Hmm.
but loved it.
I expected to love it.
I did not expect
I think the
again.
poster only just made me like it. Honestly, I thought
It's a
I
I think
remember
it's a
I
good
think
rule
the
of thumb.
poster.
I think it's a good rule of thumb ki, for me at least it's a good rule of thumb. Don't go to a movie with any expectations. I have
Hmm.
learned that the hard way.
तू अब
इसलिए अब
समझ रहा
मैं
है
हाँ
इतने
वो तो
सालों
आप
में.
समझ रहे हो हाँ इसलिए ना इसलिए ना फिर भी तो आई फेल्ड इसलिए किलर वाचिंग किलर आई गॉट डिसअपॉइंटेड इसलिए तो आई
Hmm.
फेल तो
उतना एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखो सर, ऐसे नहीं कि सभी से
No, I तो
एक्सपेक्टेशंस छोड़
don't
दो
have
सर.
any expectations irrespective in life. Chill मारो.
चलो ठीक है. ओके.
no but I honestly I loved it
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
again uh, I hate to bring this movie up because again
Hmm.
comparison ho jayega but say the reason why this is somewhat superior to past lives to a certain extent is because
Superior to what?
superior to past lives Celine song ka
I
past
haven't seen
lives.
it.
Uh,
This episode is
be-
going to be like a proper disaster class for me, huh?
no, I'm just saying it's superior. You should be happy. I said
No,
it's
I mean,
superior.
for me, a lot of movies are superior to past lives, but okay.
तो जो भी हो,
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
is superior to past lives because unlike in past lives where the focus is very, again, the focus is very straightforward. Ki
Mm.
the love which got away and what happens because of that.
Yeah, the only past lives I like is Uncle Poonmika, which
Uh,
Richard Pong has directed. Yes.
yes. Uh,
Yes.
uh,
Hmm.
मतलब स्नॉबिशनेस का भी हद होता है अच्छा एनीवे
I don't care.
तो
But at this point, I don't actually even care. It's fine.
but जो भी
हाँ.
हो I'm like that past lives is very focused on the love
Mm.
that got away right
Hmm.
here the thing is the past is sort of like something to reckon with because it is slowly and steadily fading away and
Yeah.
it's like acknowledging those past trauma mistakes the love that got away the
Mm-hmm.
world which I have left behind all of that you're acknowledging you're taking one last moment in to breathe in to sink in
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and saying goodbye getting a proper closure
Mm-hmm.
and because this is not a physical death you are not departing from this realm but
Yeah.
this is somewhat of a death by forgetfulness to a certain extent because you won't
Memories,
remember anything
cinema, everything,
memories
all that.
yes
Yes.
so
Mm.
i I love that I did not
Mm.
I love that because Avinash Arun did that very beautifully there isn't much of a complex surrealism वैसा कुछ भी नहीं है this is
Yeah. It's
simple
not the father,
well made
right?
simple well made storytelling yes exactly
Mm.
that's exactly the
Mm.
comparison I wanted to make this is
Mm.
not the father
Hmm.
you know
Hmm. The Anthony
memory is
Hopkins
breaking
film.
down yeah memory is breaking down that's why he's seen different women taking on the role of the
And then he plays a lot with
characters and all
editing, na, in that. Like
he
it's
plays a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
yeah
अरे
effective.
वो तो
Yes.
staging
yeah
और वो full
Yeah.
उसमें there is like a
yeah this
it
is
is based off
very
a play, no? So
yeah
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is very
It is.
performance this is very performance focused this is very
Mm-hmm.
vibe focused this is very location focused I think the
Mm-hmm.
correct.
location also plays a key
Mood
factor here
focus
mood
builds the
yeah very
mood.
mood focused yeah
Yeah.
Hmm.
location plays a very key factor here that village entire village shows
Konkan,
it's
Konkan, right?
yeah
Yeah.
yeah so yeah
Hmm.
initial thoughts I loved it. Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Dhruv?
Uh, so unfortunately, I will be a little less with it, but I did quite like the film. I've not seen any Avinash Arun directed film before, so it was very much, I was
Hmm.
looking forward to watching it just based on Shifali Shah, who I respond to as a performer almost every time, and in every movie, even though the movie might be bad or whatever. And Jaideep Alawat I really like. So I think both of them, and unfortunately, I had only seen him in Amartya's favorite film this year, uh, Jaane Jaan. So अमर्त्य का कैमरा
Amartya
फ्रीज हो गया
stuck.
लगता है उसके पास.
करेक्ट जगह पे फ्रीज हुआ है वो.
I know, I know. uh,
Okay, continue.
so I think I liked it. I think as I mentioned, ki thoda sa issue which was there with Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, in the sense that,
Hmm.
you know, the filmmaking style, I think sometimes conflicts with the content of the narrative in Three of
Huh.
Us also. I think the filmmaking style is more, you know, I wrote whatever Ritesh Batra, who's made the Lunchbox, and, you know, um, the other person, Chaitanya Tamhane, who's thanked in the credits, who's made Disciple and Court.
Hmm.
So I think the style is that sort of muted European art house almost, I feel. But I feel some
Huh.
of the poeticism of the film is very Indian in its sensibility, and I think those things don't gel together for me in a way which I found as convincing. But there are like lots of like, again, as Amartya said, I think mood is a big thing, vibe is a big thing. I responded to it. I felt and sorry to past lives fans, but like, you know, I never felt a sense of chemistry, or, you know, of why
Huh.
this anguish between two people, or, you know, whatever's been repressed between two people. Here I at
Hmm.
least felt like, in terms of the characters themselves and the actors, there was this very gentle but, you know, gentle but noticeable tension between these people, and
Yeah.
I was with them for throughout the film. And then
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get into specifics and some of the sort of, you know, nitpicks I suppose I have. But yeah, I liked it
Hmm.
very much. Liked it very much. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hi,
Welcome
sorry.
back, sir. Welcome back.
No
Hmm.
problem, sir. I think Sujoy Ghosh cut your internet.
You were talking about Sujay Ghosh. That's why. That's
I
why.
was
Why
talking
yoga?
about I was talking about Jaideep Alawat and how I saw him last in unfortunately in Jadeja, your favorite film Jadeja. Sorry.
We are not going there, please. मैं उतना आ गया सर
Uh,
आ गया
okay.
आपके शहर में है
Um,
सर आपका शहर का इंटरनेट थोड़ा अचानक क्या हो जाता है मुझे भी नहीं पता चलिए
I'll just
हाँ
quickly tell
संजू.
my quick thoughts. And I really liked the film. I saw the
Mhm.
poster around a year back in 2022
Yeah.
because it was premiering somewhere in Berlin. At that time,
Yeah.
there was like Indian festival, Indian Film Festival, something happening,
Mhm.
and I couldn't watch it because I was busy with something. And it no, it got a premiere this year, 2023 June. Correct. Sorry, not last year.
Mhm.
This year. This
Mhm.
year.
At
And
Berlin.
in Berlin, yeah, in
Okay.
Berlin.
Okay.
And at
Hmm.
that time, I had gone to somewhere. I think I couldn't catch the
Yeah.
premiere. I mean, I'm assuming it was the European premiere. I don't know
Must
if
be.
it had
Yeah.
come out somewhere else.
Hmm.
But that time, my friends did go for it, and
Mhm.
they did like it, and
Mhm.
they told me how they felt about it. And
Mhm.
I didn't want to know much more about it because I wanted to go with like blank slate, like
Yeah.
always, and watch it on my own and not know anything about it. I watched the Avinash Arun show this year, School of Lies, which I really liked, which me,
Mhm.
Amartya
same
also liked it, and both of
yeah
us discussed it during
In the
the best
favorite.
favorite series
Yeah.
episode um,
Yeah.
2 weeks back. I really liked it more than I think I really enjoy Avinash Arun's film aesthetics in
Mhm.
general, like how it is about a lot about stillness. It is
Mhm.
about certain characters and how those characters are expressing themselves in a
Mhm.
certain dimension of world that they live in.
Mhm.
Uh, it is also a lot about certain nuances about what a character is doing in that space and how others are affected around that particular
Mhm.
character.
Yeah.
um Beyond
which
that,
is why
I
he
thought
holds which is why he holds the camera for a very long time right
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very
very
long.
still
Mhm.
yeah
Let's breathe with the character now.
breathes with yeah
That's where you get to perform also.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
really liked how the screenplay went into certain places,
Mhm.
and how so actually the whole screenplay is about lots of stretches. If you see, like
Hmm.
a stretch about the dance school, which has one
So
of my
my
favorite
favorite
bits.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing
Then
amazing
it was
that bit
about
is
Yeah.
going to the
fantastic
school, then remembering which class it was. So these stretches were working really well in
Mhm.
general.
Hmm.
How it, even the whole carnival bit. Then there's the whole
Yes.
meeting the
Ferris wheel.
old teacher bit, going
Mhm.
back to her old house. So these stretches were working really well because
Mhm.
they were kind of telling a certain chapter in a story, but
Mhm.
not specifying it's a chapter. It's
Yes.
very
Flowing.
visceral and it flows
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
that way.
Hmm.
So those things work for me really, really well.
Hmm.
So those are really my initial thoughts on
Hmm.
the film.
Hmm.
But I want to read out some comments because there have been loads, and then we'll just jump into our conversation again.
Yeah.
So uh, Bisufakad Mulu says Avinash Arun should make more stuff. Definitely agree. I
Yeah, he
think the
should.
new
He
Patalok
should.
season is coming, which he's directed
Yeah,
alone.
this month only. I
We've
think it.
discussed.
I think it's this month only. I think
Yeah.
it's this month only.
Uh,
Hopefully, yeah.
Omkar says Indian cinema has a bright future in the hands of Avinash Arun. I agree. His transition from cinematographer to director has been very smooth, and I think we should see him make more stuff.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so Shashwat, who's not in the podcast and he was
Hmm.
supposed to present, be part of it, he's written. If we're talking about three of us, two notes. One was
Hmm.
not able to join the discussion because someone died of dementia near his home.
Hmm.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
uh,
Hmm.
Two, another personal note that Dhruv is familiar with. You can be overt.
So I
I
think
don't know.
Shashwat had mentioned that he had one of those very eerie moments where whatever happened in the film sort of happened in some vicinity,
Mm-hmm.
like it was a sort of his first
Yeah.
crush or love also was named Shailaja. I think that was the big thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like a striking resemblance, I feel, in terms of uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
the story and how she also left suddenly and he never
Mm.
got to come back. So I think he very much Shashwat had like a whatever the a sort of like someone reflecting back essentially
Mm.
his
It's close to
memories
home, na,
onto the
that way.
screen.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
too
Yeah.
much, I think, almost like,
I think
it's
he's.
one of
I
those
think
where,
he related very much to the Jayati Palawat character to a certain degree. I think
Mm.
so.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
वरुण says ध्रुव past lives trauma
ये
अब
तो
which
वो तो कह
आपने
दिया.
पहले डाल दिया
हो गया
सर.
बट फिर से दिखा रहा हूँ मैं कोई बात नहीं.
अच्छा.
Omkar says
Once.
once upon a time we were saying this about Kashyap and Bharadwaj, which is future of Indian cinema. But I think future is whatever the present that we are living. तो उस
Yeah.
समय तो now
उस समय
Kashyap is
क्या?
making Kennedy,
Mhm.
which is उस
I
time का
haven't
future अब
seen.
present.
I
I
haven't
like
seen,
it.
but maybe.
So we'll talk about it
Hmm.
when it comes out. Avinash also made the turkey
No,
that
it
was the
wasn't the
second
turkey.
time.
Shut up. It wasn't the turkey. Shut up.
Both of us liked it actually.
Yes. Shut up.
Uh, okay, फटाफट. Which is he talking
कौन
about?
सा?
Past
जाने जा.
lives, I think. Past lives,
हाँ,
past
past.
lives, I
Yeah.
think.
जाने
Past
जा. I
lives.
think
Okay,
जाने जा.
जाने जा.
Okay,
Listen,
Shashwat
when
says
it.
past lives can be brought up comfortably, but three of us is definitely better. I don't
Hmm.
get the masterful tag of that film,
It isn't
although I like
masterful.
it. But
सर
okay.
मुझे
It
तो
isn't. It
गुड
isn't
गुड
masterful.
का
It
टैग भी नहीं
isn't.
समझ आता, आप मास्टरफुल बात कर रहे
वो
हो.
तो आप हो सर क्या कर सकते हैं बट
ठीक.
मास्टरफुल का मुझे भी पता है मास्टरफुल नहीं है.
Hmm.
Sai Shankar says, same views on past lives, Dhruv
Thank
dude,
you,
and then
Sai
a crying
Shankar.
emoji. Finally,
हाँ.
someone who resonates with my views.
Thank
Interesting.
you.
Dhruv, you have
अच्छा
company, huh? You're not alone.
ध्रुव यू
I
हैव
mean, I
कंपनी.
think no, but I think Past Lives is one of those movies which will have a push. Like it's like every movie which is very highly received, it will have somewhat of a pushback, right? So always
Hmm.
happens with a lot of
I
all the
haven't seen it,
movies.
but I still remember when it had come out. I remember just on my letterbox everyone giving it 4 plus. I don't remember anyone giving it less than 4. And then Dhruv spoke about it.
Because obviously he's the one person who is going to be the quote unquote voice of reason.
I
I am
mean,
saying
come
quote
on,
unquote.
like,
No,
but
but
no,
ठीक है,
but
I
I
don't. हाँ,
no,
go for
but
it. What?
it's a movie that's tailor made for me. So I'm sorry if I didn't click with it, considering I
Yeah,
click
yeah.
It's
with
okay.
these
It's
types of
okay.
movies.
ठीक है, हो जाता
Again,
है.
it's also like past lives. I think I've already told this to you, Dhruv, for past lives. I think the first half worked with me far more because that was the part I related with the most.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sir,
The
हाँ.
Skype connection and all that stuff.
I have a different interpretation of the film only, I think, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't
Hmm.
I think the film is
Yeah,
about alienation. It's not about like
हाँ.
romance only. So it's a
I
yeah,
different
haven't
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it.
reason.
Please don't talk about it right
हाँ.
now.
Hmm.
Okay. Sadma
Sadma में
meets Amartya.
कहाँ पे भाई?
Interesting. Okay, Shashwat says, gotta love how the three great things made by Avinash Anur are poems about roots, remembering in Killa, lamenting in Patal Lok, admiring in Three of Us.
Hmm.
Interesting. I haven't seen
Yeah.
Killa though. I haven't seen
Hmm.
Killa. I need to
Killa
watch
is the
it.
one I've heard like it's supposed to be great, right?
It's been on
Supposed to
my
be.
watch list and in my hard disk since, I don't know, easily 7, 8 years now already.
Yeah.
But I
होता है
never
sir.
got to it.
Hmm.
like many films.
Okay.
Omkar says Killa is a masterpiece, one of my all-time favorites.
वो मास्टर टैग मत डालो सर, लोग वैसे भी छोड़ देते हैं वो मास्टर टैग कहीं
No,
पे भी डाल
I want to watch it, but I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. Omkar says PLB Masta, which is Patal Lok.
Okay.
पाताल
Oh
Um,
yeah, it was amazing.
I'm
पाताल
trying
लोक
to
was
look for
great,
other
yeah.
comments. Okay, Varun says Amartya went and screamed in the balcony, then came back.
This is the Janeja thing. Yes. Yeah.
डरना मना
Bajai
है।
wala statue. This is when you got stuck.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, Swapnil is
Oh
asking,
yeah.
अच्छा अमर्त्य जी पहली बार शहर में आके कैसा लग रहा है?
पहली बार तो नहीं है भाई, तेरे से ज्यादा बार मैं शहर पे आ चुका हूँ, गया चुका हूँ, चुप कर।
Varun says School of Lies where the Archies was shot. Oh my god. Okay.
Production details, sir.
Azad also
Quality of
has
voice.
to say, yeah,
But
but
I'm the
I
CEO
am the CEO of Past Lives Haters Club.
Okay.
Interesting, interesting.
कितने हिटर्स क्लब का सीईओ है भाई तू?
I'll just go to the important comments because there are too many comments at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
just glad people are engaging with the conversation.
Yeah, yeah. It's good only.
uh, there's a second season for Patalok
Yeah.
apparently.
There is.
Apparently,
Apparently नहीं, there is.
Release new one, na bas abhi tak.
is it still
हाँ.
putting money in that asshole Tarun Tejpal smoking?
Oh Jesus Christ.
Through Vishal Bhardwaj trauma too.
You don't get to say anything. Varun, you will keep on repeating this to me throughout my life, I think.
Uh,
I
I don't know where
recorded an
does
episode.
where
I
does Varun
recorded
get
an
all this
episode.
information from? Huh? He
I
has some
recorded
different
an
sources.
episode with Varun about. I
Oh
will.
yeah,
I'll
that.
not mention it about his
I got the
about
trauma.
his
Oh, I got the
podcast.
trauma now.
You,
I
you
got the
remember what
trauma
you
now.
know
Yeah,
what,
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're talking
And
about.
and then
Yes,
उसमें भी
yeah.
he brought this up again. I was like, भाई छोड़ता ही नहीं है यार.
सबको ट्रॉमाटाइज करके रोकेगा ये।
I know.
Cinematography must रहेगा ना beautiful.
Beautiful
And he
cinematography.
does most of it with available light. It's not even like something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
true.
it,
That is true.
you know that quote right by Roger Deakins. Uh, then there is good cinematography, there is bad cinematography, and there is cinematography which is correct for the film. I
Yeah.
think this is exactly that.
Yeah.
Shashwat says the dance teacher bit was my favorite as well.
I think
I
that's
think
Yeah.
one.
we can
This
talk
probably
much more
for
about it
that
because
and the Ferris wheel scene is probably the best moment for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
I, I really like
I'm
the
not
bit.
making this as a I'm not making this as a criticism, but those are the most showy bits also to a certain degree,
Huh.
because the camera is completely focused on that scene and that
Yes.
specific character or the two characters, and they're
Yeah.
just letting them
Hmm,
breathe,
yeah.
just letting the expressions of the characters just fill
Hmm.
the screen up. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really
So
like the Budi Amma scene also where she goes on the beach at that night.
yeah.
Huh,
Hmm.
that is the
And
one where I have a little bit of a qualm, I
and
suppose. Huh.
what your issue is that it was a little too literal for the thing, right? For the
I mean,
context.
I think it's both too literal and both too neatly tied together, in every sense of the way.
For me, why it works is because I think it's not happening in reality.
Huh, you
I
think
think
it's
it's
like a dream thing, right? Yeah.
a
Hmm.
dream, whatever memory bit working because
Yeah.
I just think because the way it's shot also. I think the
Mhm.
lighting is also much more expressive than in any of the scenes.
You mean in the old wala scene? I'm not, but no, I'm also even talking about the past. It's maybe there's a past trauma essentially, that
Hmm.
Shifali Shah's character is
Again,
holding
because
on to.
it's a human,
But the way
because
it is
yeah.
done is
Yeah, so it could entirely be possible कि वो dream sequence ही है, because our
I
mind
mean
is
I
trying
didn't
to
get
make
that
sense.
impression, but
Our
yes,
mind is
sure.
trying to make sense. I think I got
yeah.
that impression because of how much how much flowery the dialogue was in
Hmm.
I
that
think the
sequence.
flowery
That,
dialogue was a little bit of an issue only in general. But
no,
Varun
I
Grover,
don't
huh?
think
He wrote the
yeah,
dialogues.
I don't think in general the floweriness of the dialogue was there throughout the movie, but in that specific scene, the dialogue
Mhm.
was explicitly quite flowery.
I
It's
think it
in
almost
was
like,
very well
the you
done.
mean
The whole
no,
with
it
scene.
is very
the
well done. It's
no you
done very
mean
well,
with
but I'm
the with whom with
the
the
big
lady?
the yeah, the Buri Amma thingy.
Budi Amma
Okay,
scene.
okay, okay,
The
okay,
Yeah.
Deravni Chudail something.
okay,
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
okay.
The
Yep.
dialogue
Yeah.
in that scene also, the dialogue in that scene also
No,
was
but
quite
then
flowery,
doesn't,
if
huh?
I
I
remember
guess so because
correctly.
she is this the point when she walks back and then Swanand Kirkare is just standing there.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Yes.
they have an argument, and then she just walks
hmm,
away. And
yeah,
I think
that's the.
it's not happening in reality.
I can
I mean,
understand.
irrespective
Yeah,
of it's a dream sequence or not, because I think she's not really sleeping or it doesn't happen as like
yeah,
a cutaway. But I
yeah.
feel it's part of her memory which is kind of playing out. And
I
the whole
understand.
bit becomes a little too surreal. And I think it works
I
and
don't think
fits
it's a
right well
memory
into
per
the whole.
I don't think it's
Uh,
memory per se. I think it's like her, you know, her head trying to make sense. Because again, it's something. The entire movie is about her character trying to make sense and search for
yeah.
closure.
Yeah.
But
No,
as
that's
life is,
true. That's true.
yeah.
But
So
I feel
this is
that's
like
not
her.
happening. No,
Hmm,
in
hmm,
memory, because this is again what I thought of it. I thought
hmm.
because they've mentioned the lady living at near the beach as someone
Hmm.
who was old when they were kids, and
Hmm.
it's been
Yes.
what, about 28 years since that happened. I
That's
thought,
exactly what I'm telling you. Yeah, yeah. That's
huh,
exactly what I'm telling you. So it's like
huh,
her age has put to a standstill, somewhat, because she's still the
yeah,
same
yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, maybe it's her, reckoning with that thing somewhat to a certain
हो
Fair
extent.
सकता है,
enough.
हो सकता है. I
Fair
हाँ,
enough.
same thing more or less. I'm not
Huh,
disagreeing
fair enough.
as
I
such.
mean, but yeah, but I still think, like, to me, whenever when I saw the film, I was like, this is all a bit too neat to me. In my head, I was like, that was an issue for me. Like in my, like, I couldn't ever reckon. And I,
Listen, this entire
hmm,
trope of characters going into their mindscapes and having a reckoning with somebody who they have harmed in the past, or some family
hmm,
member who has died, blah 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 blah. This
hmm, hmm,
entire thing is sort of a fiction for character introspection or character work to
So
do in
it's
a
that
show.
inherent thing
It's
in
an
writing
inherent thing.
only.
Yeah, and it's like, if your writing isn't great enough, or if your writing isn't good enough, ठीक है ना, it always stands out.
yeah,
Always
हाँ,
stands out, because as a trope, I don't like that trope at all. मतलब
hmm,
TV shows में it has been overused to such an extent that they've put entire episodes,
hmm, hmm,
42 minutes का episode completely focusing on a character introspective. I'm like, बस कर भाई. In games also they have done that. मतलब
hmm,
PS5
hmm,
फाइव का स्पाइडरमैन 2, वहां पर भी तो
hmm,
एक फुल लेवल है. माइल्स इज इंट्रोस्पेक्टिव ऑन द वे
hmm,
while having trauma, and I'm like, बस कर
yeah.
भाई,
hmm,
we get it, let's get to
hmm,
the point. That's all I'm saying, कि अगर ये सी if this scene, at least my or Sanjeet, I think you also read kind
hmm,
of the same thing, if this scene is that only to a certain extent, I can still buy it.
hmm.
And
Hmm.
वो neatness, I think, comes with the trope itself. But I think I can buy that because her brain is trying to make sense of it as fast as it could. Because for
Exactly.
her,
And
it's almost like a ticking time bomb,
correct,
basically.
But
correct,
okay,
correct. That's
so I
exactly
mean,
what
if
I was going
you
to say.
what you guys are saying is sort
Hmm.
of making sense, but I never felt that the film is committing at least for us to see her because we cut away a lot from her story also, right? We go a lot into
Yes,
Jaideep
but
Ahlawat's
aren't
character.
you with the character though at this point while you were watching it?
At that point,
You
though,
No,
you
at
feel
that point,
like
though, you were
you
completely
were
with the
with the
character.
character.
Huh,
Sorry.
Yeah, at
no,
that.
I'm with the character, but I don't like, as you said, like the whole stillness and, like, the camera, and it's probably a function of how you interpret memory, right? And how you sort of
Hmm.
interpret how someone remembers and whatever. Like, to me, there were very few instances where I actually felt like, we went into her headspace, which is not a problem in and of itself. I don't want to go into her headspace, like literal headspace. I mean, there's one
Mm-hmm.
moment in the beginning where she sees a flashback of someone, her
Hmm, hmm,
younger
hmm.
self, Jhula Pe, I think, where she's
Somewhat, yeah, yeah.
somewhere.
Hmm.
There is that, but
Happens once only, right?
huh?
Once only.
Only
Once only.
once.
Once maybe. Hmm.
I think जो तुम कह रहे हो ना कि literal hate space में नहीं जाना है because all that
Hmm.
stuff. I think the reason why it is not as flashy कि if
Hmm.
this was a dream sequence and all that, or
Hmm.
not as surreal or not as hard
Hmm.
cut, जो हम लोग देखते
Hmm.
रहते हैं हमेशा कि
Yes.
मतलब मोनोक्रोम हो गया, ये सब हो गया, वो सब हो गया.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
think none
It's
of
not.
that is,
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, I think none of
Hmm.
that is here because he's maintaining the narrative framework throughout. I think
Hmm.
that was, I
Hmm.
think, an intentional choice because he did not want to betray the
No,
entire
but
narrative
I
and
understand.
visual aesthetic.
But I understand you
And
saying
Hmm.
this,
that's what
but
I felt.
then that is why I think I feel that's why I never thought about the dream sequence bit. Like, I was like, ठीक है, ये this is
No,
following the normal. Yeah.
I feel the scene that precedes it would have possibly made you think like that because it's the quintessential
What?
confrontation
She's
scene.
on the beach. Oh no. Okay.
No,
Okay.
they have an argument, right? So Anand Kirkire's
Yeah,
character,
somewhat types.
Dipankar,
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
they have
But
an
Yes.
no, no.
argument.
I think I was too into the whole aesthetic being set in sort of real time rather than I get what you guys mean about the Budi Amma scene where she goes atop, but I do think there is like I understand that the I think I guess my main issue in that sense would be that I didn't get the feeling of her memory being lost as much as her having a full closure. Like I got the idea that she's almost like revisiting her memories and regaining it,
Correct.
but I
Correct.
didn't feel that those memories are going to perish in a way. You know, I was like, whoa, idea of regaining memory and then leaving it, I was a bit undersold in the leaving part of it. I was like, it all felt too nicey nice to me. Like I was like, itna coziness, thoda zyada coziness ho gaya. I'm like dementia or whatever that is, or maybe I've just
Hmm.
seen it in. I didn't want melodrama as such, right? But there are instances in the film in which the film relies a bit
I
on melodrama in terms
I
of
don't think it
coincidence,
goes too
etc.
much on the melodrama bit to be honest.
No,
Really,
it
when
doesn't
the
go at all. I think, like
it
in terms
doesn't
of
go at yeah
It's
yeah,
very
but
dry about it.
yeah yeah
it's
yeah.
very much. I mean, her perform. She has very few, not very few, but she has few lines,
Hmm.
in the film, right? Chef Ali Shah, which I think
Yeah.
is actually a good thing for her in this because I think her face is very expressive. So I think if
Yeah.
dialogue was there,
I think
then
also
it
one of
might
the
have
very
broken it.
also one of the very important consequence of melodrama is OTT music, right? Over the top music.
Yes,
If
कुछ
there is
नहीं
an
है वो
over
सब तो.
kuch
इसमें तो
nahi hai
Alaknanda
wahan.
Das Gupta has a very nice
Yeah.
ambient
Again, an
score.
Please
underrated composer by the
let
way.
Alok
Yeah,
Way
Nanda Dasgupta score for more mainstream movies also.
yes,
yeah,
Because I
please.
think because her soundscape is really unique and it work
Yes,
and she somehow makes it work for anything. I think
yeah.
she
yes.
should. I would want her to score something more
Mm.
mainstream in
Yeah,
the
and
sense.
we need also
I
वो
mean,
अपना
Sacred
वैसे
Yeah,
Games का
कचरा ही
soundtrack
बनाते
was
हैं
her
वो.
only. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Sacred Games का soundtrack
A
was
lot
her
of
Arey,
only.
she
a
scored
lot of
this thing also
Vikram
Jubilee,
Aditya
yeah.
Butwan, no?
Ah,
Yeah,
Jubilee.
Jubilee
yeah.
also was
The
her. Yeah,
title credits and
Yeah.
everything is her. Yeah,
yeah,
Background score is by
yeah,
yeah.
her. But yeah, I mean the kind of
Also, the performances. I mean, Shifali
yeah.
Shah was fantastic. Swanan Kikre
yeah.
surprisingly was very good. Jaideep
Yeah.
Palawat was great. But all the supporting cast itself, like the
Yeah,
woman
I
with
loved his wife character,
yes, she
played
was so good.
by
Yeah,
Kadambari Kadam, I think. That's her
yeah.
name. So, yeah. She was
Hmm.
really good. I thought their relationship was lovely. Like, I thought their relationship was lovely
Hmm.
in terms of how it
Very
sort of
playful
mirrored.
as
It also,
friends.
yeah, 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 yeah. But, I mean, I really liked the moments where Swanand Kirkire is also with his daughter in the Ferris wheel. You know, it's like a contrast and
Yeah,
how both
yeah.
of them are sitting on that and then you know
Mm.
and also my the other thing, like last thing I'll mention, and you guys can go on praising about the film because I'll agree with you on everything else, is essentially I was more into the Ferris wheel as a metaphor, as a visual symbol. I thought in this film's world those visual symbols worked better than Udgam, which is the poem by Jayati Pehlawat. I thought that became too,
That is
romanticized
too
rather
Varun
than.
Grover. That is too
And it's
Varun Grover.
also, it feels too, quote unquote, loud for this film, or whatever, quote unquote, too
But
Yeah,
I
I
dramatic
feel
for
वो
this
understood.
film.
conscious decision ही है. I feel
हाँ,
it's still a
conscious
conscious
होगा,
decision.
होएगा. I was personally a little, detached from that. So otherwise, I'm very, very much on whatever you guys sort of are going to praise the film for. So yeah.
I mean, again, I praised the film because of how I think the
Bro,
word
I
I
think
was
your
looking for
internet
was
is a little
delicate.
off. क्या?
No,
No,
why? What happened?
no, man. Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
And
Continue,
I think
Amar.
no, I think the entire thing. I think the word I'm looking for is delicate. I think the entire movie is very delicately handled. To be honest,
Hmm.
it's dealing with a serious subject like dementia, but notice how the movie never expresses it in
I
words
think
until
there is
around
literally
20.
one or twice
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
even say the word dementia. I think only
yeah,
twice
yeah.
in the whole
And
film.
finally, the medical diagnosis and all that stuff. Swanan Kirkire's character reveals to Alawat's character towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
It yeah. So if that isn't a sign for delicate handling of a material or or of a subject, or a
Yeah.
premise.
Hmm.
I don't know what is, and I'm just glad, ki as a sensitive material exists.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
that's really what it is. I can
Yep.
understand why people were so in love with it who saw it in the theaters, but I can also understand why it got a limited release. You know,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
also get
I
it.
mean, I also was recommending it to whatever non-film people, and I was like, it might just be a little too quote unquote
Yeah,
slow
yeah.
paced, quote unquote too soft, too
It is slow
sense.
paced, but you know what? I feel the poetry and stuff like that does get, like, certain people do like, will like a film
I
just
know, I
for
know,
that as well.
I know, I
I
know,
think that's what the film also has to, I
I
mean,
know.
offers in general.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
think.
no, it's
Yes.
fair. It's fair. I think it's totally. I mean, it's one of the better for me. Also, one of the better films of well, Hindi films at least of the year. So
Mm. I'll read out this one comment.
yes.
I loved
Mhm.
that scene in the train where Shefali was so perfect for this role. Her and Sushmita scene
Mhm.
I could watch in anything.
Yes. Though to be fair,
Yeah.
Arya season 3 is pretty bad. Just putting it out
तो
there.
डायरेक्शन बुरा होगा ना.
There have just been 4 episodes now.
Oh,
The rest of the
still
season
it's
is yet to
bad.
drop.
Still it's bad.
अच्छा.
Last two
I mean,
seasons
I watched the
direction was
two
still good.
episodes only, but I need to
Yeah.
finish it. I never got to finish the last two of the first
Yeah.
part. So,
Shefali Shah has
Yeah.
always been such an expressive actor. Like I feel like
um,
she
Yeah,
has
yeah.
such big eyes in this
She's
also. Like
so
you know,
good.
she's
She's
yeah.
so good. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Learn to
Azad
appreciate
says,
poetry,
learn to
guys.
appreciate poetry,
सर
guys.
टेरेंस मालिक अच्छा
नहीं
लगता
आती,
है क्या बोल रहे हो.
नहीं आती सर, नहीं आती सर। हम लोग बांगा के चोकर बॉयज है ना। नहीं आता है सर, क्या कर सकते हैं। हम लोग अल्फा नहीं है सर, हम
Uh,
बीटा है।
वरुण से इस मेमोरी के बारे में एक जबरदस्त किताब रिकमेंड करता हूँ, प्लीज प्लीज।
सर करो.
प्लीज
प्लीज
करो।
रिकमेंड। हाँ।
हाँ, एक ही कमेंट
ओमकार
में कर
हैज अ
देता।
बिग डाइग्रेशन, स्पेशल मैसेज फॉर आचार्य वर, प्लूटो का फर्स्ट एपिसोड देखा है, जेडम क्राइम क्लब।
Lovely. Yes, watch the whole season. Watch the whole season. You will
प्लूटो क्या
be
है.
आई नो
overwhelmed.
यू लव
Pluto is
इट।
an anime. Pluto is an anime.
अच्छा
The only
एनिमे.
thing I gave 5 stars this entire year.
अच्छा.
इट्स ऑन नेटफ्लिक्स।
It's on
लेट्स
Netflix.
नॉट
It's
डाइग्रेस।
हाँ
आजाद से किसकी बेटी आलोकानंदा देखना पड़ेगा। आई मीन,
हाँ देखो हाँ
इज ही
ठीक
बीइंग
है।
sarcastic? Yeah, he's being
No, I
sarcastic.
don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think so. He's being sarcastic.
But yeah, I mean, even the film that she did with Buddhadev Das Gupta, we've
I
spoken
haven't. I haven't.
about it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Dhruv has seen
do
it.
not. Of course, I've seen it because I did it for to appear on Quid for the first time. Moron still hasn't released the
Yeah,
episode. Lovely
unreleased
movie though.
Wait,
episode on.
wait. That episode is still unreleased.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. We recorded it in Feb 2021.
I really
क्या
like
अनवर
the
का अजब
movie
किस्सा।
though. I really like the movie.
we
All of
need
us
to
loved it. Whoever,
We need
yeah.
to
What?
we need to launch a Patreon at this point, guys. Unreleased episodes,
Yeah, yeah.
क्योंकि remember मेरा
बहुत सारे पड़े हुए
uncensored
हैं।
episode. Remember मेरा
There is
uncensored
there
episode
is
where
a
I
two
ranted.
hour version, 2 hour, 2.5 hour Imtiaz Ali episode that we
वो
haven't
तो री
released.
रिकॉर्ड होएगा सर जब वो नया कचरा निकालेगा अपना.
अरे सर थोड़ा होप
Okay.
रखो, टाइगर बेबी तो नहीं है, थोड़ा होप रखो।
Sir, Imtiaz Ali se I keep less hope. That is where my hope goes a little bit, huh? Even though I've liked his earlier work when he didn't used to like pretend to be very soulful.
Yeah.
Pretend to be soulful.
As in, or at least didn't like show his
Uh,
soulfulness.
yeah.
Yes,
Azad, we
yes.
know.
Uh,
We've seen his films.
yeah.
Moving on to the next. One second, one second, one second, one second. Where is it? Okay, Varun says कब तक अमर मोहिले को सहना पड़ेगा. This is for the background score thing. Amar Mohile is a Dhruv wouldn't
For
know
like
it.
what mainstream movies?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think so. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. But Mohile was great.
Mohila-
I agree. Past को past में छोड़ के आओ. Never mind. Omkar says looks like Shefali Shah is finally used properly again. She should stop doing shit projects like Humans and
She was
even
good in
Dune.
Darlings,
Humans
no?
was that show.
Darlings, Humans was the show. That show isn't great. Darlings, I like. I
Right.
don't know why people hate that show. Hate that
I
movie. I
don't
like that movie.
I don't really remember the movie, but she was nice in it. Like I thought the
She was
performances
She
weren't the
was really good
problem.
in it.
she was really
She's
good in it.
probably better than Alia, but if there is supposed to be some sort of comparison.
Yeah. another one of those movies which use the story of the scorpion on the frog, which I'm like, come the fuck on. बहुत folk
आप तो
stories है.
सर आप थीसिस लिख दो कि वो एक तू लिस्टिकल बना ले उसके लिए ह्यूमंस ऑफ सिनेमा व्हाटएवर
There are
नॉट सिनेमा
three. There are
हाई ऑन फिल्म्स
three.
के लिए हाई
There
ऑन
are
फिल्म्स के
three
लिए
already. There are three already. Darlings
क्या?
है, कुत्ते है, कि काला पानी है.
हाँ तो तू
All
लिस्टिकल बना
Netflix
ना
projects. All
ये
Netflix
ऐसे
projects.
वेस्ट
हम
मत
like हो
कर
क्या रहा है? हम
ये
like हो क्या
लिस्टिकल है
रहा है?
भाई लिस्टिकल
हाँ, बड़ी
ओके
पोएटिक फिल्म
वरुण
लग
सेज
रही
बड़ी
है।
पोएटिक फिल्म लग रही है लाइक गुलजार साहब स्पीकिंग ऑफ गुलजार
This is not just me trauma, by the way, huh? It's Sanjeev
This is
trauma.
me trauma.
I
This is me
really
trauma.
don't like okay Omkar we are talking about Sam
बहुत
Babu
कुछ. बहुत कुछ.
which I don't want to
And
talk
also the
about
fact
it at
that
all.
Gulzar is linked with Vishal Bhardwaj, and then Vishal Bhardwaj is linked with a lot of people, which we didn't want to know
Yes.
about.
Arya
Arya
season one was
season.
better.
Hey,
I
season one
liked
was
it.
good. Shut up. Season one
Pretty
was good.
decent,
Shut
yeah.
up.
Arya was unrecognizable in season 3. I agree
This I
with that.
agree. This I agree.
Sir, है क्या आ
Too
रहा है?
much of
It's a
things
show. It's a
on
show.
a
It's a
I
face.
know,
show.
उसका है ना राम माधवानी का, I think.
Yes,
It
I
was
mean
that.
he's one of the 3 directors who directed every episode.
Oh wow. But you guys didn't
It
like
was
that
jarring. Yes, I
क्या
agree.
पिक्चर निकाली थी उसने कार्तिक आर्यन के साथ? धमाका.
I
Uh,
didn't see it. I didn't see
Dhamaka.
it.
अच्छा. हाँ हाँ.
I didn't see it.
संजीत ने
Uh,
देखी थी ना, वो तो सब कुछ देखता है.
हाँ,
Remnants of a Separation by Aanchal
by
Malhotra.
Achal Adbut,
Okay.
which is the book on memory which
Yes.
Yes.
Varun wants to
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
recommend.
We
download
have
and
a
I will buy, download and read.
we
Quote
have a
unquote buy.
great book reading audience.
But Sush was so good in Samay. Have you guys seen Samay?
I have
I
not
haven't
seen
seen.
some.
It was a technically an unofficial remake of Seven,
Oh
but it was
wow.
still very good for that time. Huh?
Okay.
Samay was no don't face palm.
सर
It's
वो
actually
सर
pretty decent.
हाँ वो घटिया वाला रीमेक तो ये है चुप जो इसने बनाया है आरवाल्की ने.
Choop is a
No, no, but
remake of
watch
Seven.
Samay.
Choop is
I
a
really
remake of
I
Theater of
remember
Blood.
watching it when I was a kid. Huh? It was very
Samay,
Choop
good.
is a
okay.
remake of Theater of Blood. Choop is not a remake of Seven.
सर चुप
जो
इज
भी है
नथिंग ओनली, छोड़ देते हैं उसको.
भाई अगर वो सीरियल किलर वाला करना है तो फिर सत्यमेव जयते भी है ना उसमें तो हर एक लेटर का SAT उसके बाद M पे आते थे उसके बाद भूल जाते आगे भी कर रहे
Haramkhor Indubala.
Azat is Haramko Indubala
This is
should have
for me.
gotten 5
This is
stars,
for me.
which
This
is
is for
for
me.
Amartya.
Okay.
This is for me.
Uh,
He said, you should read the
we
manga for.
discussed
No,
so we discussed about the show on the favorite episode, favorite
Hmm.
TV shows of
Yeah.
2023 episode.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
you should
listen,
read the manga for Pluto.
listen, Besufega, I think the manga is great, but the anime is pretty faithful. They don't have to read the manga. It's like every episode
I
is
won't
one
read
volume
manga.
of the
I'll watch
manga.
the show though.
It's
That's the
like
most I
every
can do.
episode is one volume of the manga. ठीक है ना? So like for every anime,
Sorry.
usually the episode count is 20 minutes. This is over an hour.
Mhm.
ठीक है? So there are 8 episodes of the season. It's great. For people who haven't read the manga, check the show out. Like people are loving the creator, na Dhruv?
हाँ.
When Pluto exists, people should not love the creator. I'm
अरे
serious.
but the creator is a decent movie, no?
In
It's a
front of
pretty
Pluto, it
decent.
becomes dog shit. It becomes dog shit in
I mean,
front
it's
of
not
Pluto.
I don't think it's like a well-written film as such, but it's a well-designed film. Yeah.
Arohan and Kabhi Kabhi Wali se.
Valisha.
I to remember her from
Moving on.
Waqt, weirdly enough.
Yeah. And Monsoon Wedding. Imtiaz Ali's slander will not be tolerated. His bravest soldier is still standing here. Interesting.
I mean,
It's
I
11:30 at
liked
night,
him.
Soja. It's
I
11:30 at
like
night, Soja.
I think when we discussed Imtiaz Ali, we like certain films of his. It's not like, but ये Love आजकल 2.0 वाले डिफेंडर्स प्लीज भेज दो मुझे, क्योंकि मुझे सुनना है क्या डिफेंस करोगे आप लोग उसका. और
Letterboxd
Love
में भरे
आजकल
हुए हैं.
का. I know letterbox पे भरे पड़े हैं, but I'm like कितनी सारी आप खामियां किसी की अवॉइड कर सकते हो कि आपको ये अच्छे लगे. So
I
I'm
mean
like, whatever.
वो वाला केस हो जाएगा after certain point. By the way, M Night Shyamalan वाला
Maybe.
हो जाएगा at some point.
Hmm.
Imtiaz is doing an Amar Singh Chamkila biopic. If he screws up, he'll be barred from entering northern Rajasthan, all of Punjab, parts of Himachal and JK,
For
which is
Varun,
mostly often found. Yes.
For Varun, a public service announcement. There is a show called Chamak in Sony Live. It is about, I think, Amar Singh Chamkila. I
Arey,
think that show is trash.
sir, you should watch this film called Mehsampur. Do you know of this
Oh
film?
yeah, I have it. I have it. I have it. I will watch it. I have it.
That movie is fantastic. That is
Okay.
properly like I don't know how to describe it. Also, it's everything. It's a
Okay.
documentary. It's a mockumentary. It's a fictional film. It's a non. It's so well done. I love it. It is on Chamkila and it's so well done. I think you'll find it on Telegram because it's not officially out anywhere. But it was a recommendation by Vasan Bala in 2018
करेंगे
or
सर इस बार
2019.
इम्तियाज कब है ये पिक्चर इम्तियाज पे एपिसोड करते हैं फिर से
It's coming on Netflix, so अगले साल ही आएगी at some point. I feel
आई थॉट इस साल आ रही
अगले
थी
साल या इस साल?
अगले साल.
It's
तो
2024 now.
ठीक है अगले
हाँ
साल
या
तक बचे
shit.
हुए हैं अपन
Happy New Year again. हाँ.
Happy New
Okay.
Year.
uh, ओमकार से इम्तियाज खत्म है मेरे लिए just like Kashyap and probably
ओह
even
माय
VB.
गॉड
We have a love. I'm one of the few Kufia defenders here.
VB को कुछ मत बोलो ओमकार अमर तो स्क्रीन से निकल कर वार करेगा.
I am one of the few Kufia defenders here. Vehement Kufia
नहीं नहीं
defenders.
व्हाट
I
इवन
genuinely
खुफिया
think
डिफेंडर आई लाइक द मूवी ओके
हाँ, rabies वाले को see that is not VB. That is his good for nothing son. There's a difference.
अरे गुड फॉर नथिंग अभी एक
क्या
पिक्चर तो
बोल
बनाया
रहे हो
ठीक है
सर
यार.
एक बनाएंगे यार
अरे
Anyway,
एक
they
बनाया
wasn't
Pulp
good.
Fiction.
समय
अरे
वॉच इट वेरी नाइस. हाँ यू लाइक इट.
अच्छा मैं तो वैसे भी पुरानी मूवीज देख रहा हूँ.
अबे
जापानीज
मरते
कार्टून के बारे
जापानीज
में
कार्टून के बारे में बोल
कार्टून
रहा
नहीं है कार्टून नहीं है यू टेक दैट बैक कार्टून नहीं है यू टेक दैट बैक
अरे I have to go and
कार्टून
see
नहीं
Boy
है
and Heron boss it's still playing here तीन बजे
हूँ. लेके टू डिफेंडर्स. ओह शिट.
वरुण सर ये सब सप्लाई कर दो टाइगर बेबी को
and they came in see in what in समय
No, no, I don't.
हाँ समय में ही बोल रहा होगा और क्या
अरे no, no,
Seven का reference तो
the
दिया था
cameo in the film Samay is
Yeah, yeah.
yeah
interesting.
that
yes yes
yeah okay
okay whoever plays
In
the
no, no,
killer
he's
essentially
talking about Samay, the person who's playing that
हाँ
character.
हाँ I know
It's very interesting.
okay
okay
Okay, Biswagit says, I feel asleep in the creator, and yes, Amartya is
My
right. Creator is AI ala Karan,
I'll- oh
Chor
shit
compared to.
see I didn't bring him up I didn't bring
नहीं
him
मैं
up
तो कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहा सर मैं नहीं बोल आज मैं एक्चुअली ए दिल है मुश्किल देखने वाला था फिर से बट ओके फाइन
M Night Shyamalan slander कहा किया
It's like,
नहीं वो बोल
this
रहा
is,
था M Night
we are
वाला
not. I
situation
am not
रहेगा
slandering either Imtiaz or M Night Shyamalan. I'm saying the fandom. There is a
yes
certain fandom for both the
जो सब
directors
कुछ डिफेंड कर
separately,
लेंगे
not as a conjoined
हाँ
thing, who are defensive about it, which includes you.
या सर आखिर के 6-7 मिनट हाँ उसके बाद बंद करो
Yeah,
yeah we
I'm
need
just
to
reading
go
comments. We are not discussing the
ओके
film
ओके
anymore because I think we are done. हाँ मैसामपुर के बारे में बहुत सुना है. देखो देखो. मूवी पे है ना शायद. I don't know honestly.
no it
Uh,
isn't don't worry
I think I saw from. It's great if it's on Amazon Prime Video. People
I
should
don't
watch
think
it
it's from
there.
Amazon Prime Video but जो भी हो
Chamak is made by a
Chamak is
friend's friend. Lol. Congratulations. Congratulations.
congratulations to him tell him he has made a shit thing
अरे ऐसे तो मत बोल यार. Dhruv starts the year with depressing shit and works his way out of the pit. Good strategy. Good strategy. ऊपर जाना ही नहीं है.
I have done the same thing. I started with
ये
Priscilla.
वरुण ने समय का स्पॉइलर डाल दिया. प्लीज देखना पिक्चर. हाँ
हाँ
बैक
देख
स्टेज
लो
में. ओके. हाँ अभी हो गए सारे कमेंट्स. आई डोंट नो इफ देयर एनी मोर कमेंट्स. जो
मुझे भी
मैंने स्किप कर दिया वो स्किप हो गया यार. बीच बीच में से बहुत सारे थे यार.
हाँ.
बट हाँ एनीथिंग मोर ऑन थ्री ऑफ अस.
No I think again it's like we
Is
really
Dhruv
need to
stuck?
no he's I think quite he's stuck.
अरे अमेजिंग अमेजिंग अमेजिंग.
No I think we really need to have a podcast recording only on Indian movies of 2023 to a certain extent right because Indian movies and overall movies itself right
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
recording not live stream So I
I
think
don't know.
three
I
of
think
us
it's
will
going to be a recording, mostly
huh,
recording. Live
hmm,
stream, we'll stick to
no, no.
whatever is latest only.
Yeah. So three of
But
us will definitely be on that list. That's all I'm
uh-huh,
putting it out there. It will definitely be at the top because it's
uh-huh.
really, really damn good. Mm, Like the high.
भाई ये तो चला गया डिबेट.
हाँ, डिबेट कह दे है उस
Hi,
Dhruv is back.
sorry, my laptop died. Sorry.
अच्छा मुझे लगा आप भी बालकनी में चिल्ला के वापस आए.
नहीं नहीं सर. क्यों क्यों किसने क्या बोला?
कुछ नहीं ऐसी हुआ था.
करण जौहर के बारे में बात होता ना इसलिए.
सर वो तो आप लोगों अगर आप
आह,
लोग की बात सुन लेते तो बालकनी से कूद ही जाता अभी तक उस हिसाब से तो.
अरे लाइव स्ट्रीम में ऐसा मत कहो.
क्यों तो.
वरुण को आज हुआ क्या है?
I
वरुण को
think
आज हुआ क्या
we
है?
need to wrap it up because we are
या
grossly over time.
या
Quickly, last few thoughts on three of us.
I gave my three of us का last thoughts. ध्रुव कह दो.
Final
Oh,
thoughts.
I really liked it. I mean, I think if
People should
anything,
definitely watch it.
yeah, definitely watch it. And I think especially for performances and the way it's shot, I think those two are,
Yeah.
and even the score. I think like there are just it's a
Mhm.
great movie to watch. Like if you're in the mood for something, which is in the mood for.
Yeah.
I was about to say in the mood for love, but no, never mind.
I mean, there
Yeah,
is some
don't, don't,
there
don't,
is some
don't.
I know. Yeah,
love for the film.
yes,
I also really liked it.
yeah.
I'm very happy a film like this got at least a limited theatrical release. It is on Netflix, although it's not being promoted as usual by Netflix. But I'm very happy for the film. I'm very happy for something like Zuigato, which also came out last year. These smaller films
अरे
need
उसको
a
उसको
certain
कोई
audience.
उसको कोई उसको कोई ओटीटी में रिलीज करो भाई. 1 साल हो गया है.
अरे वो अपलॉज एंटरटेनमेंट वालों को ही बोलना पड़ेगा.
Hmm.
But I'm very happy for
उन लोग
both
को
the
बोलो
films
एक
because
उन लोग को बोलो
I
एक
feel
सीजन 2 ऑफ रुद्रा ना बना के ये मूवी को रिलीज करें. बेस्ट होगा.
but the thing is, these films have kind of disappeared only. We barely see these kind of movies. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy these kind of movies are at least being made and put out because, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming that there would be other films also something like this which we are not aware about because, but and they don't get a release
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
there is no money. Shashwat is there in the backstage. Sh-
हाँ
I'm adding him.
क्या
Oh,
कहा
he
ना
Before
is.
बकचोदी
the end.
Yeah.
कहा ना
Okay.
बकचोदी करना है.
हाँ आ
हाय
जाओ आ जाओ.
शाश्वत. क्या टाइम पे
तू
आए
तो
हो जब
मस्त
लाइव
आदमी
स्ट्रीम
है.
खत्म
तू
हो रही है.
तू तो मस्त आदमी है रे.
बहुत मस्त आदमी.
Rudra is apparently the most expensive Indian streaming show ever made. I thought that was Night Manager with
Yeah, is it Night
some
Manager the
100
most
crore
expensive?
budget.
Yeah, sure looks
Uh,
like it. कोई प्लॉट कोई कैरेक्टर नहीं है, सिर्फ प्लॉट है.
It starred Ajay Devgan, right?
yeah,
रुद्रा.
Omkar
या
says Prince's office. Rudra, yeah. Zwigato was taken by Sony Live apparently, but never released. For some, I'm very then should release.
Did it have any
Uh,
political thinking or anything which is apparently
Yes.
against the ruling party?
I mean,
You know?
there is a certain element about you know some political party, but it never specifies in general. It's
Hmm.
very something very generic and very general ऐसे बोलने के लिए. But
Hmm.
I really like the film. तो I'm like कि ऐसी फिल्में बननी चाहिए पहले तो.
Hmm.
उसके बाद okay. Omkar
Hmm.
says it's Rudra. So apparently it is Rudra, which is the most expensive. 200
Jesus.
crores. 200. I mean, उसमें से 50-60 करोड़ तो उसका ही होगा.
अजय
अजय
देवगन का.
Ajay Devgan की fees.
100%. 100%.
हम्म.
यार मैंने ना फर्स्ट एपिसोड देखा था रुद्र का. एक तो मैं पहले ही दुखी था कि लूथर का रीमेक है.
And
दूसरा
the
मैंने वो
hilarious
पहले
bit is I
एपिसोड का
actually
ओपनिंग
liked the
देखा
show.
था.
Hilarious bit is
आई
I
नो यू
actually
लाइक
liked
इट.
the
वी
show.
डिस्कस्ड
Yeah.
इट मल्टीपल टाइम्स. मैंने उसको देखा था. ओपनिंग में इतना खराब ग्रीन स्क्रीन किया हुआ है. मतलब यार ये इतना बजट के बाद भी अगर तुम ये कर रहे हो तो फिर मत ही बनाओ. गुस्सा मत चढ़ाओ.
Huh.
वेट यस रुद्रा.
अच्छा, by the way, we really need to wrap this up.
Yeah, we are
My
wrapping it
God.
up within 1 minute. Shashwat, do you want to say something?
No, I thought it was the
Okay.
backstage.
Acha, okay, you didn't want to come actually on the thing. Okay, never mind.
You are
Now
already
you're on
on the
live.
thing. You are on live.
Yes, you're
ये
on
Final
live.
thought.
कहना तो फटाफट कह दो.
कह
लास्ट
दो
का
कह
1
दो.
मिनट.
Uh,
Last
No,
1
the
minute.
things I had to say सब comment section में बकी थी. I mean, there could have been things that I would have said, but वो moment पे होता. So
अच्छा, कोई बात
अच्छा
नहीं,
अच्छा,
हम आप
कोई बात
मोमेंट
अलग
नहीं।
चला
से
गया।
हमें खुद बताना कि हम लोग क्यों गलत है, खो गए हम कहाँ के बारे में।
हाँ,
हाँ हाँ
वो अक्की वाला
आप लोग
ओटीटी
पूरे
शो
गलत हो सर, खो गए हम कहाँ के बारे में.
ट्रू। और पैसे खा के बैठ गया ना अक्षय कुमार। उसके बाद अमेज़न को वो
Yeah.
उसमें को प्रोड्यूसर ले आया था। वो कौन-सी आई थी उसकी लास्ट ईयर? जिसमें वो ट्रेजर हंट के लिए जाता है, इंडियाना जोन्स रहता है।
कठपुतली,
नहीं नहीं,
Treasure
कठपुतली.
अरे
hunt.
कठपुतली राक्षसन का रीमेक है, क्या कह रहा है? कठपुतली नहीं, अरे वो
नहीं, 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 व्हाट वाज़
राम
दैट?
सेतु,
नहीं नहीं,
राम
हाँ
सेतु,
वो
राम सेतु,
राम
राम सेतु।
सेतु।
हाँ, हाँ,
राम
वो उसने अमेज़न प्राइम को उसमें को प्रोड्यूसर लेके आया था।
हम्म,
अरे वो
आपने तो
पता नहीं
उसकी
क्या-क्या
कोई रिसेंट
अरे the
पिक्चर्स
one with
देखी
the
थी ना?
hot shit CGI, no?
यस,
Uh,
आपने तो उसकी रिसेंट पिक्चर
इंटरेस्टिंग
भी देखी थी ना
इन्फॉर्मेशन
सर?
वाला।
कौन सी?
हाँ?
नहीं
OMG2.
नहीं, ये संजीत ने मिशन रानीगंज कैसी थी वो?
अरे वो तो
लेट्स
मेरे
रैप
को
दिस
I
अप,
would
बोल
have
ले,
been
लेट्स
personally
रैप दिस अप,
offended
बोल
if
ले,
I would have seen Mission
बोल ले, मैं
Raniganj. I
पास्ट लाइव्स
literally
देख के
live
तेरे से
in.
बात करता हूँ।
लेट्स रैप दिस अप,
सॉरी, सॉरी।
लेट्स रैप दिस अप, यस, लेट्स रैप दिस अप, ट्रॉमा हो जाएगा अभी।
आई नो, आई नो। आई मीन
यस
अमेज़न
यस,
वाओ।
प्राइम का ही तो वो शो था।
अच्छा,
Okay,
आई डोंट
last
वांट टू
comment.
से,
OMG2 में अक्की सही है। Okay, I think this is the end of the episode. Thank you so
यस
much for listening. You can follow me on my Instagram page at pixel_baba. You can follow Dhruv on his Instagram page at Terminal Sim. You can follow Amartya on his Instagram page at Amartya25. You can follow Shashwat. Shashwat, do you want people to follow you on Instagram?
No, I want them to read me at Ion Films. So,
हाँ, तो तेरी प्रोफाइल का लिंक भेज दियो, मैं कमेंट सेक्शन में डाल दूंगा। Sorry.
हाँ.
इसको कहते हैं राइटर, इसको कहते हैं राइटर। हम लोग तो यहाँ पर बैठे
हाँ।
बैठे बैठे
I'm
बैठे
Arke
क्या,
तो influencer.
मैं तो
अमरत्या तू
इन्फ्लुएंसर
तो
हूँ
बोल ही
यहाँ
मत
पे।
राइटर।
इन्फ्लुएंसर।
एक दिन में कम से कम 25 रिव्यूज वाला पब्लिश कर देता, उसके बोलता राइटर। अच्छा, एनीवे, you can follow us on queenisdead.film podcast. Lots more episodes to come out on Spotify as well. Please follow us there, write us reviews.
ये जो
You can
राजू
tell us in
हिरानी को
comments
गालियां
what you
दी है
liked and
ना,
what you didn't like.
ये राजू हिरानी को जो
Uh,
गालियां दी है अमर्त्या और वरुण ने, उसको कॉम्बैट करने के लिए एक एपिसोड भी निकालेंगे हम लोग।
हाँ,
तो
निकालेंगे निकालेंगे। The new episodes coming in. Please follow us, subscribe, जो भी करना है वो सब प्लीज कर दो यार। Thank you so much for listening. This is the end of the episode. Uh, Shashwat, this is for you by the way. Huh?
अरे millimeter right.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. This is the end of the episode. Khatam.